Green box and live counter are up, so we should be live. Just gonna, quickly refresh Twitch on my phone.
We are live.
That's good.
We are live indeed.
Always good when OBS, is working and tells us we're live and we actually are.
It is nice when that happens. So, hello there, everyone. We're getting absolutely blasted and talking about One Piece because that couldn't possibly go wrong. Well, I say we, but it's kind of a 50-50 distribution.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my DB and I are definitely plastered, and Mill and Fuzzy are not plastered.
That said, I'm quite tired, and Fuzzy's general personality is like inebriated.
Well, I wouldn't say inebriated. I would more say vaguely intoxicated with some form of substance that you're not really sure what it is exactly, depending on the day.
Is it hash, kush, ecstasy,
I
MDMA?
I haven't. What do those words mean? I don't know what those are.
You don't know what ecstasy is? It's a rape drug.
See, you're slurring your speech a little bit, and
Let's just get on to the One Piece theories now. This is gonna be my role.
We do have a
just
prompt.
getting us on topic.
So
We do have a prompt list that DB I would encourage you to look at. So,
where is this prompt list?
it's on the schedule doc.
Yeah, schedule on the bottom.
We're gonna save the Joy Boy stuff till later on the stream, I think.
Yeah. So just before we get started, I know the spoiler warning isn't up, but massive spoiler warnings for the
Right
One
up
Piece
until
manga.
the very latest chapter, 1043.
Right up until
Yeah,
chapter
no.
1043. If you have not read that far, we are probably going to spoil something.
Okay, so now that we got the disclaimer stuff out of the way,
Give it a minute so that people can decide if it's worth it or not.
Okay, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. Anywhere you're listening from, if you think you're gonna get spoiled listening to this, don't listen. We're at current on chapter 1143.
1043.
Yeah, not 11, 1043. You're
1043
showing, bro.
That's right, 1043.
We are 2 years in the future.
Yes.
It is 20.
But
I can see the future.
now that we've got that out of the way, all the spoiler warnings and everything, how about fucking Luffy as Joy Boy, yeah?
We're saving the Joy Boy stuff till later.
That's
No,
for
we're
the
jumping
end.
right into this right now because this shit is gnarly.
Okay, fine. I do think my theory on the Joy Boy thing is that Luffy's fruit is Joy Boy's fruit, and by awakening it,
Yes.
he's basically triggered Dunisha to think like, oh shit, Joy Boy's back.
Exactly. I thought Joy Boy was the previous holder of the Gum Gum Fruit, or one of the previous holders of the Gum Gum Fruit, and now Luffy being back against the wall, backed into a corner, whatever metaphor you want to use, he's activated like quote-unquote fifth gear, which is the awakening of the Gum Gum Fruit.
He's made of rubber, though. How did that happen?
Yo ho ho, he took a bite of Gum Gum.
So like,
So my
This is
my
gonna
only
be
problem
awesome.
with the One Piece rap is it wasn't a bite. He swallowed the thing whole.
oh yeah, whole thing.
Like, how did he fit that thing down? He was like 8 years old at the time.
He
How
didn't.
did it, like, fit?
He
wasn't-
didn't swallow it whole. He just munched it down. You can see it throughout the fucking
Oh,
first
right,
chapter.
he chewed.
You can
Look.
see him eating it.
I forgot that he chewed. Okay, it was like decades ago at this point.
And remember
Literally
that
decades.
One Piece doesn't exactly work on real world logic, so it's like anything's kind of possible in One Piece if the writer thinks it so.
Fuzzy, you're thinking Buggy. Buggy swallowed his fruit whole.
Oh yeah, see, I was getting it confused because Buggy's the actual protagonist, and I was like thinking we were talking about the protagonist of the series.
Dude, I
As
love his
opposed
whole
to, like,
story.
some-
His whole storyline is hilarious. Like, if you just think about the world from Buggy's perspective, like, holy shit, it's hilarious.
He keeps
He's
falling off.
canonically, he canonically has the potential to be as strong as Shanks. The only reason he's not is because he's a lazy sack of garbage.
Yeah, he's literally just like, I'm gonna just rest on my laurels.
Not gonna lie, I honestly think Buggy is going to become an emperor just through failing upwards because he's consistently done that so far. Like after Wano, I'm pretty sure that Buggy is going to fail upwards into being an emperor.
Yeah,
Here's my hot
because
take
Oda
on Buggy. Here's my hot take on Buggy.
because Oda
He
finds
is
it fucking
One Piece's-
hilarious.
Yes, he is Oda's version of Hercule.
Oh my
Mr.
god.
Satan.
God, you're
He
right.
is Mr. Satan.
Fuck.
Oh god, what if Buggy ends up crowned Pirate King?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is he's gonna take it all the way, and he's gonna be the Pirate King, even though Luffy's actually the one that makes it to Raftel.
I
No,
don't-
you know what? Yes, Mel?
I don't think Oda would go quite that far, but I am 100% certain
No, no,
he's
no,
going to be
no.
a fucking emperor.
What? No. Let's say he will be crowned Pirate King for like 5 minutes. Like how
For half
sort
a
of-
chapter.
No, like it's a sort of like
No, it's gonna be a whole chapter, just enough to get us on edge, thinking that it's real.
like how Lopen was technically the king of Alethkar for like 6 hours.
5 minutes. Yeah. Stormlight Archive reference for you cultured people.
Which book, though?
It wasn't even
think
in a
that's
book.
two.
It was like it was. Well, it was between books.
That was over. I think it was book 2. I think it was book 2 when they were sheltering Elhokar.
But yeah, basically he managed to. Oh, actually, I think the specific flashback may have been in. What was that novella? The one after.
I think that was the
book 3.
novella. I think it was. I think it was the novella. Anyway,
One
back
of the
on
novellas.
topic.
Anyway, back. So yeah, I feel like it's not out of the realm of possibility for Buggy to be crowned Pirate King for like a fifth of a second.
It would definitely be an Oda-like fake out to do that.
Speaking of fake out,
It's totally
Uh-huh.
big character for Oda.
speaking of fake outs, how much do you want to bet that once the Straw Hats get to Laugh Tale, as soon as they get to Laugh Tale, and as soon as they find the right One Piece, right before they do, it's going to be a 1 week break, and that's going to go into the Roger flashback, and then before we find out what they found at is the One Piece, it's going to be another break.
Yeah, they're gonna
and then
tease
it's
it
gonna
for as
cut
long
to-
as possible.
And then it's gonna cut to like the Reverie flashback.
Yeah, I was gonna be like the Reverie flashback's gonna happen then too. We're gonna finally figure out what happened to Sabo.
Fucking hell,
Also,
the
Sabo
Reverie
is one of my
just-
favorite characters. I'm so glad he's like, as far as I know, still alive and kicking and has the flame fruit.
Okay, let's talk about the Reverie real quick, because Cobra's fucking dead. That's my theory. Cobra's fucking dead. Cobra's the one who died at the Reverie. 100%.
Long live
No
Queen
cap.
Vivi. Queen Vivi.
Oh, she was 100% the quote unquote victim of the attempted murder.
You think
Yeah,
someone
Cobra's
tried
fucking-
to assassinate Vivi and then killed Cobra instead because he like sacrificed himself? or-
No. What I think is the 5 Elder Stars organized a hit on Cobra, and then framed Sabo for both killing Cobra and attempting to kill Vivi, and used that to either kidnap Sabo and Vivi or to attempt to do so, and they escaped. So either one of those two options.
Sabo and Vivi sitting in a tree.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Hey, going on the run
Nothing like
together can be pretty romantic.
By that
I
logic,
doubt that.
Zoro would have like a massive harem by this point. Oh wait,
To
no,
be
he does
honest-
already have a massive harem by this point. Never mind.
Yeah, Zoro is like, I think he has a fan club.
And he like
I'm
he's
gonna agree with
legitimately.
We already
a
know that
protagonist.
Luffy has a fan club, but Zoro probably has a bit of a fan club.
Luffy's fan club is almost exclusively made up of burly men
It's
Only
hilarious.
exception.
Barto
The only
Club,
exception is
Barto Club
Hancock.
Pirates are my favorite. They are hilarious.
Oh, speaking of
Bartolomeo is great.
the Luffy Hand Club, how much do you want to bet that since Kobe was going after Hancock, instead of fighting, the two just break to gush about Luffy, and Hancock just walks off after that because they're both huge Luffy fans.
No, I think they probably did actually fight because I don't see any I don't see any opportunity for Luffy, I know Luffy too to come up organically there.
Also, to be fair, that's not much of a qualifier. Most of the named characters in the series know Luffy by this point.
Fair.
Safer to also, it will be hilarious if Kobe isn't affected by Hancock's Devil Fruit because he only has eyes for Luffy.
I would laugh so hard if that was the case.
Also, the fact that Boa Hancock just really badly wants to bag Luffy is just it's the only bit of classical shonen that you see in One Piece. Everything else is it breaks from the anime norm.
I don't know. Buggy's a pretty Buggy and Usopp are pretty heavy shonen comic relief.
They're call-outs to the classic comic relief, and they also sometimes subvert the expectations, which is great. And I kind of like Oda for that. It's just they give them good redeeming qualities. They're not just useless piles of crap that provide entertainment like they actually have.
Well, Usopp isn't.
Yeah, no, Buggy's actually useful. Buggy's pretty powerful when he wants to be. He's just a lazy piece of crap, like you said.
No, the problem is Buggy has just a disturbing amount of charisma.
Yeah, no, his
Which
chaw
is a common factor
his chaw
between
is at all-time highs.
Yeah,
Look, Buggy,
a common.
If we're going by D&D rules, Buggy has a 20 charisma, and all his other stats are utter shit.
He's got a 20 in charisma and a 5 in everything else.
Basically. No, he's got a 26 in charisma and a 5 in everything else. Let's be real. He just stacked all his points of charisma and made everything else.
To be fair, his business sense is pretty decent.
So yeah, I guess his intelligence and/or wisdom would be decent.
No, his
But
wisdom is
stats are garbage.
bottomed out. He has less wisdom than most rocks.
So let's say 26 charisma, 12 int, and 5 everything else.
So who else thinks
fair.
that Shanks is going to join Luffy's crew?
No,
I
that's
actually-
not I'm more like
Speaking of Shanks, though.
Shanks going to die, and is Luffy going to be the one who does it?
No.
I feel like
No, what
Shanks
I
is going to be
think-
the final boss.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
What I think is Shanks and Luffy are going to have a Dave back fight at Elbaf for the last road poneglyph.
I keep forgetting the Davy back fight is canon. Why is the Davy back fight canon? That's the most
Because Foxy could not be stricken from canon. He's too legendary. You cannot retcon the slow beam.
And okay, here's some other crack theories that are actually crack theories, and one of them I stole from Reddit, and the other one I actually came up with myself. Well, I have two that I came up with myself. One of them has probably been disproven, but the other one I'm still holding out. I think Shanks is a world noble.
Not
sense.
impossible.
That's interesting.
So yeah, no, I can follow your chain of thought on that. So basically, Shanks is 39, and the God Valley incident happened 38 years ago. So maybe Roger saved orphan Shanks and took him onto his crew. Is that what you're thinking?
I did not think that far ahead. I was literally just he can speak to the Gorosei whenever he wants. I guess he's probably has some ties to them.
That makes sense too.
Yeah, actually,
I'm just trying to-
see,
I'm gonna throw another
okay,
little
am I
nugget
drunk
out
or
there.
you,
Maybe
Jack? Because I just I'm throwing shit out there. You're the one who actually, like, followed the logical, like, has evidence. So which of us is supposed to be drunk?
I think
very drunk.
along
I'm already
those
like
lines,
patron
Fuzzy. Along those lines, Fuzzy. What if he's former like CPO or CP9?
No, the timeline doesn't match up for that, though.
No, what
But
is fun though?
Actually, no, because Lucci was a child soldier, so child soldiers are absolutely something they're
Exactly,
about.
right? That's what they
That's
established with Lucci, is that
also-
child soldiers are possible, and they can also be masters of the 6 powers, maybe even hockey.
I mean, no. So the interesting thing is that apparently the 6 powers are just uses of hockey. That was like later confirmed.
No, that's not actually what's the case. What Otis says is that some CP9 people did have hockey pre-time skip, but he didn't say when.
No, I think like the specifics he gave was that they're related. They're related, and there's some overlap.
So I think what the deal is that some of the 6 powers stack with hockey, which is kind of shown with the
No.
fight.
Well, no, there's like explicitly in like the latest data book, he said something along the lines of there's like, it's not that they stack, it's that like there's overlap, so some of them require hockey, some of them don't. It's weird. It's a whole
Iron
thing.
Body, Moonwalk, Finger Pistol, and Paper Arts, I think all involve hockey.
That would not surprise me. Yeah, the only ones that don't really involve hockey that much are Hurricane
Shave.
Kickoff.
Shave doesn't,
Shave.
and Tempest Kick I don't think does either.
I'm pretty
No,
sure
Tempest-
Tempest Kick would
No,
have to
Tempest
involve
Kick.
hockey.
No, Tempest Kick
Armament.
has to.
That's
Yeah,
armament.
armament
No,
hockey. So 5
Shave
out of the
could be
6.
observation. Shave could be
No,
observation.
shave is
No,
just
it's
movement
not.
speed.
Shave is just
to move
movement
really
speed. Yeah,
quickly.
that's just training your body really fast. Like Luffy was able
You
to do
could
it in Gear 2 without knowing hockey.
You could argue that the Iron Body is also just based off training durability.
Yeah, that's actually not outside of the realm of possibility, because like
Yeah.
Zoro is basically that.
Yeah, Iron Body
freaking
could be.
Zoro is
strong.
actually, I'm sorry, Zoro is the worst example because he's apparently been using both Conquerors and armament and observation since before anyone else in the series.
Yeah, he basically
Zoro
knew
is
about hockey
idiot
before
for Hans,
anybody
but I
else.
love him.
Yeah,
No,
no,
he literally
Zoro
just
is the
kind of-
classic. Okay. This is when I want to get into the theory about everybody on the crew. Everybody on the crew is super fucking overpowered at one thing at the cost of a super high deficiency at another thing.
Zoro is a hockey savant while being an absolute idiot when it comes to
everything
having any
else.
Sense of direction.
navigational
No,
Sense of
everything
direction
else,
and
really.
tact in conversations. Like, he has no awareness. But he
Zoro
is...
Zoro is the himbo of the crew.
Yeah.
Let's
So,
be real.
and then-
No,
He is the himbo.
that.
Following the same train of
goes
thought,
to
following
Luffy.
the same train of thought, Luffy is entirely like powerful in his combat and his durability and his stamina, but what he gives up is
all but
his
half a brain cell.
patience.
No, he's pretty patient when he needs to be. Like, in terms of like important things, he can be very patient. He's just impatient whenever it comes to
non-combat
sticking around.
Like he sacrifices. Like
Yeah,
he is an idiot outside
he has
combat and
no
leadership.
awareness of his own pain or injuries either. Like he will push his body to limits that it shouldn't be pushed.
Oh, he's aware of it. He just doesn't give a crap.
Yeah, and then that's the thing. Like, so, like, there are things that they give up for the benefits, and like, there's certain
Okay,
things
but like,
that they
can
give
we
up.
like just for a second there talk about the fact that Zoro is like he just stumbled his way into all three types of hockey before they
Yeah.
were even revealed.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah. No, that's
Oh
the
yeah,
thing.
he just bubble fucked his way into learning all 3 kinds of hockey without even knowing that they were hockey.
You know what? You know what's funny? I feel like this is a side theory. I feel like Mihawk probably doesn't have Conquerors, does he?
No.
I would honestly be surprised if he didn't have Conquerors.
The reason I say that is because if Mihawk had Conquerors, he would have recognized that Asura is Conquerors and then taught him Conquerors as well as armament and observation.
I mean, that's assuming that he knew that. That's assuming that Zoro demonstrated Asura for him.
I have to imagine Zoro had to like pull out all the stops when they were doing the training. I do not think the training was so half-assed based on the flashbacks we've seen. I don't think the training was so half-assed that that Mihawk doesn't have an idea of what Zoro's capable of. So either Mihawk doesn't have Conquerors, or somehow that just they didn't get to that in the training.
I mean, to be fair,
I don't think Mihawk has Conquerors. I think he's about the peak of what you can get to without Conquerors.
I mean,
I think that's what he is.
Necessary, right?
It's not necessary, but it does provide that X factor. That's what it is. It's literally like an X factor that
speaking of which,
it's like a Vorpal gun.
Speaking of which, I don't think Garp has Conquerors either.
No, he hasn't displayed anything of like Conquerors Hockey. He could be also another version of the peak of non-Conquerors Hockey.
I wonder about that because
maybe he doesn't need it.
Garp
Maybe he's so powerful in armament and observation that he doesn't need to use Conquerors Hockey.
Here's the thing. All Conquerors Hockey users have one thing in common. Ambition. Garp doesn't have any ambition. He is fine where he is, and he has no desire to advance further. He doesn't have ambition. He is satisfied. Why would he need Conquerors Hockey?
That's a good point. He just wanted to live a good life, as a good Navy man.
Reason I would refute that is because I feel like it might be harder for him. We actually haven't seen how you're supposed to counter someone using offensive, like, armament-based conquerors if you don't have Conquerors yourself. Right? Because, like, we know Roger had it, and Whitebeard had it, and we know Garp was on par with both of them. But Kaido seemed to imply that you can't really counter Conquerors except with Conquerors. King and Zoro's fight kind of reinforced that idea.
Oh yeah, Zoro just kind of wrecks King's shit as soon as he gets a grip on Conquerors Hockey, doesn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. That's the only thing that was holding him back. So it's implied that if you don't have Conquerors, you won't be able to, like, fight it.
So just to
kind of a beast.
So just to interject on the Rokushiki Haki relation. So the actual wording in the entry for Lucci specifically was also strengthened his Rokushiki related Haki. Also of note is the fact that Lucci does have an ability that the other CP9/CP0 members don't, as far as we know, have, which is the
Rokurogan, right?
Yeah, Rokurogan, or Six King Gun, or Six King Pistol, whatever the fuck you want to call it, which is, you know, this big thing that causes internal damage.
Yeah, that's 100% Haki.
That's just Ryo. That's just the Wano style.
Yeah, Rokurogan is Haki. Like the other,
I think Haki has a bunch of different names, and it's like there was Mantra in Skypiea that was basically observation Haki.
The reason I call it Ryuo specifically is just that's just the name that has been given. That's the only name that's been given to that specific variant of Haki, which again was first introduced by
armament. Yeah.
Well, yes, it's a sub variant. It's a of armament, but yeah, it's the specific. Like, there's been other subvariants, like the thing that turns their weapons and skin black is specifically has the subtype of armament hardening.
Yeah.
There are subtitles.
Yes. So with hockey, there's advancements for each kind of hockey, and there's also subtypes for each kind of hockey. I've seen the theory that the voice of all things is a subtype slash advancement of observation hockey that only a few people have access to.
Which, I mean, that I feel like that's not even a theory. That's been all but confirmed.
I mean, the only thing that keeps it from being confirmed is that we only have a handful of known users, and we know nothing about how they came upon it or how they access
We had
it.
four. We have
The only
four.
known users we have,
Oh,
we
five.
yeah, no, four. The only ones we know who have it are Odin, Roger, Luffy, and Momo.
No, I think Shirahoshi counts.
Poseidon powers are different.
No,
The ancient weapons are different.
No. Remember,
She's an
'cause-
expansion on observation hockey,
Yeah,
but
no.
specific to sea life because that's where she lives.
No. What I'm trying to say is, remember that Luffy can also
I
hear
need
their
another
voices.
beer.
Luffy can't control. Poseidon's power is to control them, but like that doesn't mean that hearing the voices is necessarily related to Poseidon. Right? It's the same way that Luffy can hear Zunisha, but Momo's the only one who can command Zunisha.
How much do you want to bet that Momo is also an ancient weapon or related to an ancient weapon?
No, what I'm actually thinking that I feel like ancient weapon, unless we see further evidence, I feel like it might be a misnomer in Poseidon's case. The reason I say that is because it feels like more of a promise than an actual power.
Interesting.
So, in Poseidon's case, it could be that, like, rather than an actual explicit power, it's just there's a standing sort of agreement that when a mermaid princess who can hear Sea Kings is born, the Sea Kings will listen to her.
That is an interesting theory.
Because there's been a lot of mermaid princesses, right? Like, it's not like there's been only... Shirahoshi is the only mermaid princess since the Void Century. It's implied that there have been other mermaid princesses. Like, technically speaking, Otohime was probably a mermaid princess. It's not like the...
No. The OG mermaid princess was named Poseidon, and she knew Joy Boy. That's what the apology poneglyph was for.
Yeah, and, like, it's implied that, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be some sort of inborn ability. It's like, that's the case with Zunisha, remember. It's not like Odin's family has this sort of inborn ability that they can command Zunisha. No. Zunisha did a bad, and then agreed to serve Odin the Kozuki clan.
Yes, Zunisha did elephant crimes, and now he must serve his penance.
Yeah, I think some of these theories forget that these kind of legendary beings have free will of their own.
Yeah.
And, like, in terms of Zunisha, he chooses among his free will to be loyal to the Kozuki clan.
He's ancient. Zunisha is ancient. He's actually,
he is older than the Void Century. He's older than
you know
the
what's
Void
funny?
Century.
You know what's funny? Robin could probably, like, just ask Zunisha, hey, so, like, what happened?
Well, no, he could have still been wandering the sea then, so he's disconnected from, like, world events for the most part.
Well, she could have asked Rayleigh. No, that's my point. Is she wouldn't, but she could have. She had the option. I don't think she knew she had the option, but she absolutely had the option. But it's in the same way that she didn't ask Rayleigh and they didn't ask what the One Piece was.
Yeah, because Luffy hates spoilers. Oh, you know what? Speaking of ancient weapons, we need to talk about Eam and how the fuck they knew that.
You won my crack theory. No. You won my crack theory on Eam and, like, the world government, because I have a very elaborate crack theory that I came up with myself and I have not seen anywhere else so far.
Go fucking jam, dude.
So, you know how it was a whole thing where the Void Century was caused by the war between the 20 Kingdoms and the Grand Kingdom? And the 20 Kingdoms succeeded in taking down the Grand Kingdom and established the world government and the world nobles?
Yeah.
And, like, put up the empty throne. So, here's my crack theory. That's all BS. The Grand Kingdom actually won
Mm.
and established the World Kingdom and the 20 kings and the world nobles as a puppet state. And Im is the descendant of the Grand Kingdom.
Oh, interesting.
That's an interesting thought. I think we're all led to believe, this is just my personal theory, that we're led to believe by Oda that the world government was the adversary of whoever wrote the Poneglyphs and won the war during the Gap century and decided to erase all the history of the kingdom.
So my theory, and I assume the common theory, is that the D clan are the descendants of the ruling family of the Grand Kingdom that got erased by the world government.
Maybe not even the ruling family. Maybe the class. Maybe it's like the round table of nobles, as it were, or the round table of knights.
Yeah, I don't think it would be. I don't think it makes sense for it to be a bloodline.
Yeah,
I think it could. I feel like it makes more sense for it to be a title.
Yeah,
especially
lineage
Saul is
more
giant
more
and
or
everyone
less.
else is a human.
Yeah.
I mean,
Speaking of the little D, though, what do you think the D stands for?
There's a lot of things that could.
I mean, I'm like, there's also like a non-zero chance that it doesn't actually stand for anything.
Yeah.
So,
I think it doesn't stand for anything.
I have 3 different ideas as to what it could stand for. It could stand for devil or demon, which is one theory I have, or that I've seen floated
It's a
around.
bit on the nose. I don't know. I don't like
That's
that
what I
one
was
as much
thinking.
because it's a bit
too on the nose, too obvious.
I'm not.
That said, Boogie Devil Clown
for.
sounds good.
But yeah, that's the one I'm least inclined towards. The next one I think might be a possibility is Dream. He stands for dream.
That also is like would be sappy, and I love it. Oh, Mill, this is kind of going in to your Blackbeard related theory.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't said my third one yet.
Oh, okay. Yes, go ahead.
The third one I think is the D isn't actually like an abbreviation. It's meant to stand for a big smile. Because the D's always smile before they die.
So, okay. I also have a few things. Oh, can we also talk about the fact that I feel like you could probably make an argument that each, well, not each of them, but can we just say Zoro is more of a standard shonen protagonist than Luffy is? Let me explain my reason.
Kinda, yeah.
First off, Zoro has a harem.
Why did I know that was going to come up?
What do you define as Zoro's harem? I know two.
And Hiyori.
Yeah, I can see that.
I know Tashigi.
I don't know. Perona is more.
Perona absolutely wants to bang. There is
Perona probably did bang. Let's be honest. Perona and Zoro probably banged.
I don't think so. No, Zoro is currently too focused on being Luffy's right-hand man to.
No, here's the thing though. He had at least a couple moments of weakness while he was at Mihawk's with Perona. At least a couple.
What?
It was possible.
Counterpoint. He got lost on his way there.
He couldn't find the clitoris.
See, no, depends. No. Depends on whether he'd see it as a battle or not.
Yeah.
So
if he saw it as a battle, he'd be very good at it.
Hiyori wants to bang Zoro. Like 100% Hiyori wants to bang Zoro.
Hiyori is just like, marry me. I feel like she's just like, no, but like, do you not remember the entire interaction? Like, the entire time when Rona was saying goodbye to Zoro after the time skip, she was like acting like a jilted lover.
Yeah, so they definitely smashed. That's what I'm saying. Is like that's all evidence that like they probably had some kind of relation.
Even knows where babies come from, though. Is the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't think he knows. Like, I'm not 100% confident Zoro knows.
Okay,
there's,
let's
like,
be
a
honest.
difference
Zoro
between boys
is
and girls.
Goku. Zoro is like Goku.
So you're saying Perona
So-
just tied him down and then
Yeah,
went to
Perona
town?
is Chi-Chi. Perona is Chi-Chi. So yes, exactly that.
I'm just imagining the
I don't know,
discussion that could be had. It's like, Zoro, I'm pregnant. Oh, when's the stork getting here then?
Absolutely. That is no, let's be real. On the Straw Hat crew, with the exception of Sanji and Frankie, and maybe Brooke, that would be the response.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I don't know.
No, Brooke
think-
would entirely have an opposite response to that. Yeah.
I think Robin would know better, but I think the rest of them, yeah.
Well, the boys. I feel like the girls know.
Nami
The
and
boys,
Robin know what's up. Nami and Robin, like, they're aware.
I am 90% sure Nami is more interested in women than in men.
Nami is money sexual.
That's fair. That's fair.
Nami's more interested in money than anything else. No,
Look,
I
her
would-
interaction with Khalifa kind of just made me think, she's.
Okay, you know what?
She
Yeah,
might
got
be a
me
little
there.
bit bi, but I also think that, like, one of the things I even appreciate about One Piece is that, like, outside of Sanji, and Khalifa is an exception to this, but, like, sexuality is not really even a thing. It's like, it's just nothing's...
That's kind of fair. Like,
It's something that I like about the series.
I mean,
like, it's not about that.
Okay,
amongst
you know
the
what's
Straw
funny?
Hats, there's not
There's
a lot of
only-
like romantic or sexual interaction.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me think. I'm trying to do a quick head count. That's 1, 2, 3. Off the top of my head, I can only think... Oh, 4. Off the top of my head, I can only think of 4 characters who have canonically banged in the entire One Piece series.
Yeah.
That would be
Uh,
Garp, because he has a child and grandchild. Roger.
Dragon.
Oh, you know what?
Roger
I forgot to-
Dragon.
Yeah, Roger and Dragon. So Garp, Roger, Garp, Dragon, Roger.
Cobra.
Okay, yes, you're. Basically, the only characters we know have canonically banged in this series are the ones who canonically have descendants.
True. Except for Rayleigh and Shaki, because we know they banged.
They're married explicitly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they have an open relationship.
That
which
came
is kinda
completely out of
cool.
left field. Like, it was implied, but I didn't think Oda was just going to come out and admit it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
and that's the thing that's beautiful about One Piece is it's never like the forefront. It's not about
Oh,
like
you know what? No,
like it's
there's
one of the few
other person-
anime that like there's not a romantic relationship taking the forefront of the story.
Unless you're Hancock.
That's
Look.
what I mean. It's like even then, it's like Luffy's just totally dodging the whole thing. He doesn't even give a fuck.
He's not dodging
Look,
it
they're-
consciously. He has no idea what's going on there.
Exactly.
Let's be
Like,
real.
and that's part of the beauty of it. Luffy just doesn't
Look,
care.
Okay, no,
There
let me
are
just say...
3 possibilities. There are 3 possibilities I can think of with Luffy with regard to like romance and sexuality. Like possibility A, which I think is most likely, Luffy does not give a fuck. Literally, he is asexual. He does not want any romance whatsoever. And he doesn't get with anyone. Possibility B, Hancock. Possibility C is Nami.
That's not...
I knew you were
There's
going to
also
say
the
that.
They're-
I knew you were going to
They
say
have
that.
It
extreme
is also the
sibling
possibility
energy.
of
Like,
there is
all of
also
this...
the possibility of Zoro or Law. I can see tentatively, but I honestly like the strongest possibility is Luffy just being straight up asexual.
I think it's less about... No, Luffy is the Goku, right? Like, I absolutely would not be surprised if, like, there's an epilogue in which Luffy just has kids. I don't think he'd know how they got there. I think Hancock would just be like, "Hey, you wanna try something?" And Luffy's like, "Yeah, we're good friends. I'm willing to do some stuff."
Yeah, I do think that like Hancock is the Chi-Chi to Luffy's Goku, if that were the case. But I also don't know if Oda will go that route.
I don't know. The epilogue is fair game for anything, right?
Yeah,
What
but that's
that
also
makes
probably
Nami the
about
Bulma.
15 years away. right?
God damn.
Don't remember.
Honestly,
No. Look, I just want to put one thing out there on the subject of One Piece characters banging. Makino from Luffy's hometown.
oh, she definitely banged
100%
Shanks.
the father of the baby is Shanks.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
I have zero doubt
Everything
with
about
that.
her character says that she was in love with Shanks. Whether or not anything happened as a result, who knows?
like,
Not
But
necessarily
like she was
love,
definitely
but
into
she was
Shanks,
definitely-
and Shanks at the very least was open to it.
Yeah.
like,
I don't necessarily think that there was a love between there, but there was definitely a mutual attraction there.
Oh yeah,
And
there
they
was definitely some
banged.
chemistry. Whether or not
They
they banged is
100%
completely up to how Oda plays it.
I mean,
But, yeah.
I'm pretty sure
It is heavily
if
implied.
Shanks is the father, then they banged. Unless One Piece biology works very different from how we're used to.
Also, on that topic, who do you guys think
because
Luffy's mother is?
Rouge.
So I think I think the interesting thing is that the moms are just not going to come into play unless they're dead.
You think it's like a Hunter x Hunter scenario?
I think that I think Luffy's mother just isn't important.
Yeah,
Like,
like
I think-
Hunter x Hunter, right? Like Gon's
Like,
mother
lady.
just like doesn't even fucking matter to the
Actually-
story, so he's
Actually, no. In
Actually-
Hunter x Hunter, it was implied that there's like something sort of secret behind Gon's mother. Gon is just like, no, I'm not gonna let I'm gonna blue ball the readers and not just delete the message.
So here's a theory I have that is probably not true, but is interesting to consider regardless. Dragon is not Garp's son. He's his son-in-law. And Luffy's mother is Garp's daughter.
But so he took the name. I don't think because I don't think
Yeah.
no,
One Piece characters
he's
take the
Monkey
name.
D. Garp. I mean, he's Monkey D. Garp and Monkey D. Dragon.
I don't think
There's
anyone.
no
maybe
way.
he
There's
took his
well, it's
maybe he took his wife's name.
Okay.
Who knows?
you don't want to know the real crack theory behind who Luffy's mom is?
Yeah.
Crocodile.
Oh, the Crocomom theory. God, I feel that I know that theory so well.
How? What? I've never heard of this.
So okay,
Because he played
You know-
it to him.
heavily implied that Crocodile and Ivankov have some history in which Ivankov has blackmail material on Crocodile.
So my
They
big
just-
issue with that theory, is that I don't think Ivankov would be so unethical as to blackmail Crocodile over their assigned and direct birth.
That's fair.
I don't
Ivankov is very progressive and is like very accepting of that stuff. That's
said
not
that
something
it's
that he would
directly
use
over
for
that?
blackmail.
What if the blackmail material is that like Crocodile and Dragon were banging?
That I could see. I could see that.
This has turned my whole world upside down. This is so interesting. I never thought of this.
Right?
The Crocodile
Ivankov's
theory is
existence kind of
insane.
opens up a lot of.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh my god. There's so much to think about here. Holy shit. My drunk brain
Yeah.
is racing.
So the Crocomom theory, in a nutshell, is that Ivankov Crocodile's gender,
Oh, of course, yeah.
and Crocodile was assigned female at birth, and also gave birth to Luffy before transitioning with Ivankov's ability.
Doesn't necessarily
In
have
a
to be
nutshell.
before, depending on how thorough the fruit is.
True.
Okay, my counter to that is I don't think that's true based on the interactions between Luffy and Crocodile. Like there's
Who
no
says-
hinting.
Well, no, like
Unless
who says-
I think I know what you're saying. Unless that Crocodile is also
Has no
unaware
idea.
that Luffy is
yeah, it's like
their child.
also,
Like I mean that but like still, like, I just
remember-
don't see that being a
remember,
thing.
apparently, Dragon's lineage is not well known, right? It was a
Yeah, they
surprise
don't know
to
that he's the child of
everyone
Garp.
everyone except Luffy Because apparently Luffy just knows a lot of things that the audience is not told about.
Luffy didn't even know that he had a father. He didn't even know he had
parents. He somehow knew
Garp
that
was his grandpa.
Roger was Ace's father. He knew Gold Roger was Ace's dad, but he wasn't even aware he had a father.
Exactly.
So, what Luffy does and does not know is very, very internally inconsistent.
Yeah, because Luffy's a wonderful dumbass.
Luffy believes whatever is convenient for him at the time.
Not necessarily. It's just he's a dumbass, but we love him.
Yeah, Luffy is precious. The world must protect him.
Incredible himbo energy.
Yeah. Yes. Like, the only one... Yeah, he probably is the biggest himbo on the crew.
He is the biggest... He's one of the biggest himbos in the series.
Yeah. What I want to say about Luffy is, like, he is literally the textbook definition of a wild card. Like, you never know what he's going to do, how he's going to feel, but it all makes sense the way he thinks of it and says it.
Kinda. So you can always rely on Luffy. You can always rely on Luffy to befriend a random person and beat the shit out of anyone who hurts them.
Exactly.
Not necessarily in that order.
And Luffy has like one of those internal compasses that literally is just, he knows when people are genuine and when they are fake, corrupt, what have you.
So look, if we're going
there. No, but like, are we just going to gloss over Frankie's cyborg penis?
Look,
yes,
going back to
we don't need to
D&D
go into that.
stats. Going back to D&D stats, if we're looking at Luffy, he has an int of like 6, but he has a wisdom of 14 and a charisma of 27.
Oh yeah, no, Luffy's charisma is ridiculous. You know, the only member of the Straw Hat crew that maybe has more charisma than Luffy is Usopp.
Yeah, I can see that.
Usopp has a luck stat of...
No. Luffy spec'd into persuasion, Usopp spec'd into deception.
Yeah.
True. Also, I do want to say that on
the subject of banging, right? We also conveniently ignored that, like, Usopp has, like, someone waiting for him back at home.
Oh yeah, him and Kaya are definitely gonna smash. Like, the second he gets home, he's got a hottie waiting for him, which is, I think, plays into part of his luck stat. But also, I do want to say that
even more than that, it's a childhood friend. He's got, like, Usopp's got the whole childhood friend romance thing going on for him.
Can I just...
Usopp has
anyway, can I please say my thing real quick? Back on my metaphor of, like, the super heavy stat gain in one aspect, but the super heavy stat drain in another aspect. Usopp gave up a lot of his constitution and strength for charisma, deception, etc.
No, Usopp has a really high-ass con score, but...
And luck.
Abysmal. His strength is abysmal, his con score is ridiculous, because he couldn't tank a hit.
Okay, fair enough. But, like, yeah, his strength and his overall battlefield prowess, except for marksmanship, is kind of abysmal, but he has so much deception, charisma, constitution.
Me is that he's just a bard.
Usopp spec'd in charisma and dex. That's what he spec'd in.
Yeah.
And he hard dumped strength.
And that's what it is like, that's what the Straw Hat crew is they're guys that just, like, dumped. I mean, they all have a super crazy fatal flaw, but other than that, they have so much either battlefield prowess or charisma or
the point is
intelligence. The
point is that they're a crew that covers each other's weaknesses.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of One Piece, is that each and every one of them covers the other's weaknesses, and they all work together really well, and they gel together like a family.
Okay, but what do you want to bet that Laugh-Tale is the moon?
Okay, so Enderu has to be into the story somehow. Enderu has to come back somehow.
Honestly, yeah, Eneru has to come with.
Here's
the thing, though. If Eneru comes back, I think that the entire Straw Hat crew basically could wipe the floor with him.
Oh no, they will absolutely raffle stomp him. They were able to stomp him because of the type advantage, but at this point, no, they're just any one of the monster trio can shot him.
Any one of the Straw Hat crew that knows hockey, which I think is, let's see, who knows hockey on the Straw Hat crew? It's Luffy, Zoro, Sanji for sure, Brook probably.
Usopp knows.
Usopp knows observation. I'm pretty sure Robin knows. I'm pretty sure Robin at least has an.
It's heavily implied that.
And Jinbei definitely knows hockey.
Oh yeah, Jinbei.
Oh, Jinbei would absolutely wipe the floor with him. Yeah.
So that's 7 out of the 9 at least that know hockey.
Just as an aside, imagine Robin's Nutcracker but with hockey.
Oh God, no!
Oh,
fuck that.
On Logias now.
Her whole fucking that whole thing on Water 7, the shit she does to Frankie is so bad. Oh my God, I still have nightmares about it.
That's horrifying, but hilarious.
Look, it's his fault for resisting. You should have just let it happen. Instead, he had to resist.
God damn it, Fuzzy. God fucking damn it.
But yeah, no, there's a non-zero chance they're absolutely going to the moon.
Yeah, they're going to the moon, or the moon is coming to them.
The only detail that's
the
only detail that sticks into my mind about Laftel is that when Roger's crew got there, they laughed. I'm just waiting because I know it's not something that's it might be monetarily valuable, but I think it's honestly gonna be something that's world changing, and such a ridiculous way that all you can do is laugh at it.
No, but this actually brings me back to the remember what the third ancient weapon is?
Uranus.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Uranus.
Uranus.
What are the chances?
Uranus. Yes.
Yes, okay. Haha, very funny. We're all 12. What are the chances that it's just the moon?
But how can Uranus be the moon?
See, you answered that question, but you just
answered that question yourself.
That's a cop-out.
I really do think that's a cop-out.
So the thing with Uranus is that, of the 3 ancient weapons, it's the one that we know the least about. So it is really hard to make a theory about it.
So far, Poseidon has been sea-based. Pluton's you can make an argument that it's wealth-based.
Yes.
It's
so
apparently just
technically.
It's a ship, right? So technically, as long as you throw enough money at it and you have the blueprints, you can mass-produce the thing. So you can make an argument that, that's how it ties into the name. So the last one should be vaguely sky-based.
I've seen arguments that Zunisha is Uranus, or that Momo is Uranus by virtue of commanding Zunisha.
No, I feel like they're just extrapolating from Poseidon, because so far Poseidon and Pluton are very, very different from each other. So it seems unlikely that.
Fuzzy, I see your point, and I actually agree with you. Honestly, the moon being Uranus would make the most sense, because in the cover series that you see in the manga with Eneru being up on the moon, there's a whole operation going on there,
an entire species of aliens
something's being
there,
built. Something's being built up there, so maybe that is Uranus.
So,
or Uranus, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know how they're going to pronounce it in the anime or whatever, but yeah.
Out of all the cover stories, the only 2 that we haven't gotten any callbacks from the main story on are Gadatsu, which I do not see any callbacks in the main story because it was just fun filler stuff, and Eneru, who is still on the fucking moon as of right now in the present. And unlike Gadatsu, I see Eneru coming back.
Yeah. How much you want to bet that the Thousand Sunnies is scaled down Pluton?
I would honestly not be surprised because
I can't imagine Frankie didn't take a look at the blueprints. Right?
No, he knows the blueprints. He knows
Are
the
you sure?
blueprints.
I think he
had
memorized the
them for 5
blueprints.
years.
I think he memorized them.
Yes.
He had them for 4
I
years.
have to imagine he memorized them. Yeah.
And he
Like,
burned them
he's
because
already
he had them
Pluton.
memorized, and B, he figured it was good enough that like he knew he wouldn't die, A, and B, he knew that even if he did die, like that Robin wasn't going to use Poseidon as a weapon.
No, he only knew about Pluton. He didn't know about Poseidon.
I thought that
yeah,
he did.
had blueprints for Pluton.
No.
Yeah.
He only knew
But
about
I mean,
Pluton.
he also knew
I've
that
seen-
Robin's aim was not to start worldwide war and not to use the weapon. Like he knew by that point.
So I've actually seen this theory that Frankie didn't build Pluton as a Thousand Sunny. He made himself into Pluton during the time skip.
That would be kind of hilarious, and that would explain the laser beams.
And the nipple lights, of course.
Frankie is honestly one of my favorite members of Straw Hat Crew. Frankie and Brooke are definitely
Can I talk about something that is very, very interesting, and that is something that I feel like goes very well with Mill's, one of Mill's theories. Mill, you want
Yes?
to talk about your theory on Blackbeard?
I mean, it's an
please.
it's an ever evolving theory, but my theory is basically that he has two personalities or two souls specifically in his body, and that is how he is
you
able
want to
to.
know what's crazy? It might be more than two. 'Cause I'm just gonna put an image in the chat real quick.
I've seen this theory before, and I understand this. I've also seen the
So-
theory that
No.
I've seen the theory that Blackbeard actually ate the Cerberus fruit, and that's why he can have multiple
No.
devil fruits.
No, the reason I'm bringing this up is because Oda is like a god at foreshadowing. Can you see the image in the stream chat?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Blackbeard, his teeth are inconsistent, chapter to chapter.
Interesting.
And that is not the sort of casual error that Oda makes.
Hmm.
He has a different like set of teeth in like at least 8 of his different appearances.
The Hydra fruit.
Before and after the that's Orochi's technically.
Kinda.
Yeah, but like he has is every time, and also he has differences in his behavior as well. So is there just more than one Blackbeard? Not necessarily like in multiple bodies, but like I don't know. It's like this is not the sort of error that Oda makes. He does not just like accidentally misdraw someone's teeth. Also, this is very interesting. Blackbeard is the only example in which apparently Oda has outright lied on an SBS.
Oh.
In how so?
When asked who is the guy from Jaya that Luffy had an argument with and talked about dreams with, Oda just outright said, "Oh, he's Jaya's local cherry pie man. He's just a guy from Jaya who really likes cherry pies." And this is the only time when Oda has given a serious, non-joke answer that is an explicit lie. Because it's a totally different tone from his normal joke answers. Normally his joke answers are very obviously joke answers, right? He's
really trying to distract from
either
Marshall
that
being peached.
or the person that Luffy met on Jaya was Jaya's cherry pie man.
Okay, let's talk Blackbeard and crack theories about Blackbeard, because there's a lot of shit going on around Blackbeard.
Yeah,
Let's
like,
do that.
My only
that's
take
what
on
happens
Blackbeard
when you're
is
the
that
only
Marshall
person-
D. Teach is not his real name. And
No.
D is something that is only maybe one of his personalities. One
Yes,
of the
yeah,
souls
that's
in
the
his
thing,
body
it's
is a
like-
D.
Is like there have been times when he's shown fear of death, but there's also times when he's smiled at the thought of dying.
Yeah.
Right? His behavior is inconsistent, so it's possible that it's also possible that this is a side effect of the dark fruit. What if he's just eating people? What if he's absorbing people? No, like absorbing people with his fruit.
That's an interesting theory, and I think it's
fruit is kind of
possible.
like a black hole absorption sort of thing. So what if he's assimilating people, and the personalities are bleeding through, but that's also how he can have multiple fruits?
The interesting part is that he can apparently grant devil fruit powers to people.
No, I think that's the implication, is that they just kill the person with the fruit nearby, so the fruit automatically transmits.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the most likely one. But no, here's the thing. Marshall D. Teach was willing to do anything to get his hands on the dark fruit, up to and including making an enemy of the freaking strongest man in the world.
Yeah, he just straight up made an arch enemy of fucking Whitebeard.
For the sake of that fruit. So, here's the thing. From what we've seen of that fruit, it's a pretty powerful fruit, but it has some glaring weaknesses, and there's really nothing about it that could explain the level of desperation Blackbeard was showing. So what if the upside of the dark fruit is that it allows you to somehow have multiple fruit powers?
I think that's the most likely scenario.
Like,
what
if the specialty is not Blackbeard? What if the specialty is the fruit that he was after?
There is a contradiction in canon against that, and that Marco himself says that the dark fruit does not allow this. It's something where with Teach's body that allows this. So I'm leaning more towards the multiple souls. He said there's something with Blackbeard's body.
Yeah, that he's always had a weird body, right?
Yeah, but
something like that. Yeah.
He said he's always. No, he never said anything about the dark fruit. He said Teach has always had a weird body, or a strange body. He didn't say anything about the fruit. So those things are not necessarily contradictory.
So what I think is that Teach either has multiple souls in his body or multiple personalities that let him use multiple fruits.
I feel like personalities are not enough.
I think it's multiple souls. Yeah. I think it's multiple souls. That's why he's always awake. That's why he never sleeps.
Yeah, that was my theory. To be honest,
right? He doesn't sleep. I completely forgot about that. I completely forgot. That was a very it's just kind of glossed over. But he doesn't sleep. He's got different teeth, and apparently, so it's possible that Oda wasn't lying in that SBS. But the individual that was speaking to Luffy at the time was Jaya's Cherry Pie Man, who shares a body with Marshall D. Teach.
Precisely.
It's entirely possible, yeah.
It's that's
wild, isn't it?
Oda is very internally consistent. And that's why the fact that Blackbeard has internal inconsistencies, that means it's not an error. That means it's intentional foreshadowing. Because there is no other place in which Oda is not internally consistent.
Look, Oda is quite possibly the single best author at foreshadowing I've ever seen, so, yeah.
He foreshadowed Conquerors in Chapter 1. Then he foreshadowed Wano-style advanced armament in Alabasta with Zoro.
Yep. His longest term foreshadowing is over 1,000 chapters, because he has fucking a throwaway line from Lucky Roo foreshadow that Who's Who was in custody of Luffy's Devil Fruit.
Oh my god, you're right!
Wait.
Yeah!
Hey, run that by me again?
So, basically, in Chapter 1, Lucky Roo says that Shanks and crew stole the Gum Fruit from an enemy ship. And then over 1,000 chapters later, Who's Who says he was a CP9 agent who was guarding the Gum Fruits.
That's right. Okay, I remember that. Yeah, it got stolen by Shanks. Okay, yeah, that was huge buildup.
1,000 fucking chapters.
Yeah.
1,000 chapter callback. What the fuck, Oda?
Is that really
so-
foreshadowing?
Okay.
It's a
Oh wait,
callback.
so
at worst.
who's
It is at
who is the
least a
one that
callback.
interferes in the fight, right?
No.
No.
So who's who? Who's who is the guy? Is the saber-tooth tiger guy who fights Jinbei?
We do not know the
That's
guy who
right.
interfered in the fight and then got fucking yeeted by Kaido.
Yeah, no,
We
Kaido
don't know
killed
his
him.
name.
Kaido 100%
We
killed
don't know
him.
his.
Uh,
We
well,
don't know
no.
his name.
So the thing is, Kaido hurt him very badly, but in One Piece, characters don't die unless you are explicitly given the funeral.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if CP0's boulder hat guy is dead.
No,
Yeah,
I don't know, because like,
he did have a good send off.
look,
He did have a
No,
good
like
send
here's
off.
the thing. Like Kaido like was pissed. He was so
but, like,
fucking
Kaido was
pissed that like that fight got
absolutely
interrupted. He was righteously pissed. Like he
No,
that was
so-
a kill shot. That was 100% a kill shot.
4 people have canonically died on screen. In the entirety of One Piece. 4 people. Whitebeard, Ace, Monet, and Virgo. Those are the
And Gold
only
Roger.
4... He didn't die on screen, technically. He died in the prologue blurb. By on screen, I mean like they were actual characters who appeared alive, and then they died on screen outside of a flashback.
Hmm.
So it's Whitebeard and Ace, and then for some reason Monet and Virgo just outright were killed on screen, and explicitly it was Oda confirmed that they were actually for reals dead.
Yeah. Punk Hazard was the real fucking wild arc.
Yeah, so 4 out of God knows how many, like, it's gotta be over 1,000 characters at this point in One Piece, right? Like, we've gotta have crossed the 1,000 mark.
Probably.
Hello?
Oh my god, apparently there was a dude at the Olympics who did the Frankie Super.
Yeah.
I love
One
it.
Piece fans are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
One
horrifying.
Piece is an epic tale.
Especially when
What
the
country
Olympics
was
are
this
set
guy
in...
from?
I think the US.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It helps that the Olympics was set in Japan, so...
You know what? Yeah.
I do think that Frankie is supposed to be an American stereotype.
Explicitly so, actually.
Yeah.
Because the straw hat nationalities thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, we're talking about pirate nationalities. I still can't get over the fact that Oda said that Killer and Kid would be fucking Scottish.
You know, no. The only
No,
thing,
that
It makes sense.
the most
It makes
yikes.
sense, but it's hilarious.
You think the dub's gonna give them the accent?
I don't.
I wish they would.
The dub's
They're
already
not
well
going
past
to.
the bounty.
They're
The
no,
dub's
they're
already
not
well
going
past
to.
the bounty.
Yeah, they're
They're
not
not
going
going
to.
No,
But
I mean...
I wish they would.
Dub,
I
dub,
would not be surprised if the live action ever gets past East Blue, if they cast Scottish actors for Kid and Killer.
No.
If they eventually get
Okay,
there.
if we're talking about pirate nationalities, probably the single most yikes thing that Oda has ever said is what he said Usopp's nationality would be.
Oh, Africa? I'm pretty
Yes.
sure he said that. Because he later said
Yeah.
that Blackbeard was Somalia.
That's also kind of yikes.
Well, Blackbeard has
You know, the
consistently
Somalian
been
pirate
portrayed as
stereotype.
dark skinned. No,
Yes,
he's
but also-
consistently portrayed Blackbeard as dark skinned, so it would make less sense if he wasn't from an African or Middle Eastern country.
Like,
Or
yes,
if
but,
he wasn't
like,
from.
But like of all of the ones that he had to pick,
Somalia is the one that has a reputation for piracy in the modern day, so it would make sense for him to be like, hey, this big old pirate guy is from the country most well known for piracy in the modern day. It is kind of yikes, but at the same time, it makes sense for Oda to go that route.
This makes me think about my theory that the current world in One Piece has been severely shaped by the gap century in terms of like I think continents shifted and land masses were changed like permanently and significantly on a geographical scale. I think that like it's like in a way a post-apocalyptic world of our Earth. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is again. I'm just like stealing from Reddit here because that's the only thing they're good for. So apparently, explicitly, one of the problems that like one of the things that causes it to be difficult to navigate the Grand Line is magnetism and the magnetic field. So I feel like Kid just has like a busted fruit for that.
Kinda.
He can be his own log pose. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like, does Kid just have an unfair advantage? Can he just like tell where the next islands are?
That's a good
So,
thought. I didn't think about that.
By all indications, Kid doesn't have magnetism sense so much as he can manipulate magnetism.
Well, I mean, I feel like you need one to do the other.
Not necessarily. To manipulate magnetism, he only needs to know which metals are compatible with magnetism.
Slurring your words there a bit, Jack.
This is okay. Okay, this is very funny.
That's true.
Who's more drunk right now, me or Jack?
That is a good question.
Jack sounds more drunk. Is all I'm gonna say.
We've had about the same amount to drink. I don't know. I've had like 5 beers and 4 shots of whiskey.
See, I have had 7 shots, but I'm only on my 2nd beer.
I'm on my 6th beer, so I'm about at the same level.
Okay,
I'm almost done with it.
I really like. It's very funny to me. So, you know how sometimes Law's finger tattoos are inconsistent?
I did not realize that.
Maybe.
So, one of the funniest things I've seen, it's absolutely not true, but the idea is that Law's constantly using room on his fingers just to screw with people.
That would be hilarious. Not gonna lie.
It's not true.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, he's too serious to do that.
No, but you don't know that. He's Trafalgar D. Water Law. I do think that the will of D is an indicator to a character's alignment on the chaotic scale. And I do think that D tends to be more chaotic. And I think that Law is more chaotic than has been shown.
Oh, here's another one that's kind of funny. Or, not funny, but it's interesting to think about. It's related to Reverie. So, you know how Bonnie, you know, of the supernovas,
Yes.
infiltrated Reverie?
Shit.
Huh?
That's right. I fucking forgot about that.
Yeah, so she infiltrated... she snuck into Reverie as Dowager Connie. What do you want to bet that's her actual identity? She's actually
my
that
thought
old.
is, she's either Connie herself, de-aged by her own devil fruit, or she's the granddaughter of Connie, and she's Kuma's daughter, and Connie was the mother of Kuma.
Or Connie and Kuma.
Either way.
Kuma's not that young.
Who is Connie again?
No. Connie was the queen dowager. So that means she's the queen mother. Which means Kuma was the king.
Wait, was he confirmed to like be the like ruler of that place?
Yeah, Kuma was the former king of Sorbet.
Oh,
okay. Was the former king of Sorbet. Okay. So my money.
No. A dowager is. What is it? Remind me what a dowager is, because I think it's also like the widow of the king.
So, the queen dowager is either the widow of the king or the mother of the current king, who was the widow of the former king.
So that's queen mother.
So she's either Kuma's mother or Kuma's wife.
Yes. Either way, My wager is that Bonnie is either Kuma's mother or Kuma's daughter.
That would not be surprising. Yeah.
Yes.
What do you want to bet?
Especially given Connie's reaction to Kuma being enslaved.
Yeah. What do you want to bet that? So okay, where do we think Vegapunk falls on the protagonist-antagonist scale?
That's a
Kuma
good question.
is-
I've been thinking about that a lot.
Is Vegapunk a bad guy, a good guy, or is he just a pure mad scientist?
I do think that it's a 50-50 chance of any of those.
So here's the thing:
it's so hard to tell.
We see a brief flashback of Vegapunk interacting with Caesar, and he tells Caesar not to do the horrific shenanigans Caesar is about to pull. So I'm willing to bet that Vegapunk is more chaotic aligned, but he is more moral than Caesar by far.
Caesar is neutral evil. I do think that Vegapunk is more
100%.
on chaotic neutral, chaotic good side.
He's either chaotic neutral or he's lawful evil.
I think. No, I don't think
He
he's
could be
either of those.
lawful neutral. He could be lawful neutral.
No, what I think is that Vegapunk is scientific neutral.
That's what I mean. He's lawful,
like a pure,
lawful neutral.
mad scientist, yeah.
Where it's like he
He
doesn't
is
necessarily
pure
think that the
scientist
world government's
more than
doing
anything
wrong.
else.
He's just doing what he thinks is best for humanity. And the world government is, in his mind, the best way to do that. So he doesn't care about the world government's agenda, but he's also not necessarily actively fighting against it.
Yes, that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah. So, like, I think he is a good person,
it's
but
why
maybe not
he-
on the correct side right now.
I think that's why he helped out Kuma rather than like reporting his behavior to the government, because he's like,
Exactly. He let
I don't-
Kuma
I
have
don't give a
one more
fuck.
mission fully like sapient before getting the lobotomy scissors.
Well, I mean, there's a chance that if Vegapunk is like a good guy, quote unquote, then there's a chance like he didn't like fully robotize Kuma.
Yeah,
Right?
I think no,
I
there were
feel
a
like he
couple
might have left
things.
a back
There was
door for
something
Kuma.
there was something programmed in Kuma where he was guarding the Thousand Sunny during the time skip.
oh, that's what happened.
Oh god.
Yeah, that was something that he
Guys,
requested Vegapunk
guys.
to program into him, and then he did it. Like, Vegapunk actually followed through on that promise, which makes me think that he's at least honorable.
No, what
He'll
that
at least
implies to
honor his
me is-
promises, whether or not he's on Kuma's side.
But
He
I feel
could
like
not
there's a
be.
non-zero chance that Kuma's still in there somewhere, is what I'm saying.
That's
Yeah,
possible.
yes.
It is.
Also,
I mean, there's no accounting for the soul.
Am I an idiot, or did you guys also not realize that Elbaf is just Fable spelled backwards?
Oh
I
yeah,
know a
I
long
already
time.
knew that.
I'm just a moron then.
Speaking of which, before we talk about Elbaf, we do need to talk about what the fuck do we think is Kuma's backstory? Because I know it's going to be fucking heartbreaking once Oda finally writes it. I know Oda's going to
Finally
write
does
it.
the
because
flashback.
Finally does the Kuma flashback, and he's going to break all our hearts.
Yeah, because you know that Kuma was
You
really
think-
good friends with at least Ivankov and Dragon.
So what do you think Kuma's backstory is?
I think he was
That's the
very much
question.
similar to like how Cobra is, where he was like a king that was kind
How-
of in on the world government, but wasn't satisfied with the way things were going because he saw all the atrocities happening.
How the fuck did he gain a reputation as a pirate? And how did he gain the epithet the Tyrant?
What if
Hmm.
he actually just was a dick and then was reformed by the power of friendship?
That's
That
possible.
would be interesting. It
Right?
is
Like, what
entirely
if he's
possible.
like, what if he willingly went through with the whole like pacifista procedure as some sort of penance?
That would actually make the most sense.
The question at that point would be, like, where does Bonnie/Connie fit in with this?
I mean, just because he's like a dick to his people doesn't necessarily mean he'd be a dick to his family.
True.
And here's the thing: is like no matter how we theorize, Oda is so good at subverting expectations that like no matter what we think is the most likely scenario, good chance is Oda will find some way to really exceed, surpass, what have you, our expectations for what's going to happen next.
100% Oda is going to fuck with our expectations.
Yeah, and I think that's part of him as an author is that he's so good at like building up these expectations for things to turn out a certain way and then entirely going in the opposite direction, but then also occasionally playing right into it. So much to the point that like it's so hard to predict what he's gonna do next with the story.
No one expected the left turn in the most recent chapter. Let's be real.
I mean,
I expected
Okay.
Luffy to be Joy Boy. Jack, you've known I've theorized about this for like
here's the
years.
thing,
What
though.
I mean is that Kaido fucking winning.
Oh no, I was kind of I wasn't surprised when CPO intervened and then Kaido won the fight as a result. I wasn't surprised. That's a cop out.
I do think, yeah, no, it felt like the only way they could make the Kaido versus Luffy fight have a satisfying conclusion. Because I don't think Luffy was winning that. Right? I
don't think he was winning it outright, but it was a good cop out to be like he had a chance to win, but it was ruined.
Yes,
you know
that's
what I mean?
I'm saying. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I feel like he probably would have lost either way, but by having CP0 interfere, he can at least there's plausible deniability.
And also, what it also does is it gives the opportunity for Kaido to be unsatisfied with the end of it and want a rematch badly enough for Luffy to stay alive until that rematch can happen.
Because I feel like he would.
It gives him an out.
If Kaido had just won outright, I think he would have just lost interest.
He would have lost interest and killed Luffy. He's letting Luffy survive on his own. Basically, he's not finishing the job because he wants the rematch. He wants to actually have that satisfying finish from his perspective.
I think Luffy might have straight up died after that last blow.
Yes, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure his heart stopped. Because they make a big deal about how he has a heartbeat in the last few panels. So I'm pretty sure that's why Kaido said he was dead, is because his heart just stopped. It's not difficult for Zoan to tell that. And he did get hit in the chest with an internal damage-based attack.
So what I think is that
that makes me think, what if Joy Boy is not just him awakening the Gum Fruit? What if it is actually Joy Boy possessing his body in a way or
that
something?
That would be a bit too much. I feel like there's no precedent for that, unless you count
there is precedent for that, and I'll tell you why. If Joy Boy was a previous holder of the Gum Fruit, Devil Fruits might actually carry some of the spirit of their previous users.
What happened is that Luffy's heart stopped for a few minutes, and once his heart started back up, it started back up because of his Devil Fruit and because he awakened it. In the interim, while he was like,
there's precedent for that
between life and death, and also like maybe his Gum Fruit has a properties of both rubber and gum.
Okay, so do you know?
Oh my God! Shut the fuck up!
I hate you, Jack. Why? Why would you bring the pedophile into it?
It was mostly a meme. I'm sorry.
No, he's the best meme. No, never be sorry for that, Jack. That was great, but I still hate you.
I'm sorry about that.
I'm 6 beers deep. I've just finished my 6th. I might go grab a 7th right now. Let's go.
Okay.
Do you know what the most prevalent theory has been actually recently?
Huh.
What?
It's that the Gum Fruit is actually misnamed.
Oh, yeah,
and it's not
people
actually
think it's
rubber,
a resin.
it's something else.
People think it's resin, not rubber.
Not necessarily that. It could be any number of things, but yes, it is implied that it's either something else. There's also people have been theorizing that it's also an artificial fruit made by Vegapunk based on someone else's fruit.
Okay, tacking onto that.
Hold on. I've seen people theorize that it is actually the Monkey King devil fruit.
No, that's
not right. Jack, what I think, and Jack, you and I have talked about this before, is I don't think that the Gum Gum fruit is actually a Paramethea. I do think that it's a Logia.
No, so I actually have there's actually a precedent for a Paramethea that's like it. Or rather, a retroactive precedent.
Katakuri, right?
Katakuri, yes.
Right?
Katakuri is a fruit that was stated to be a Logia in the Shonen Jump release, and then was retconned into a special Paramethea in the volume release. And the thing is, that's the only time in over 1,000 chapters that Oda has made a quote-unquote mistake like that.
Yeah. So the fact that he changed it from a Logia to a Paramethea makes me think that the Gum Gum is not a Paramethea, it's actually a Logia.
It's a special Paramethea.
No, it's a special Paramethea, a lot like Katakuri's, is a theory.
It's like the properties of the Gum Gum fruit are both rubber and gum, but also
Shut up! I'm gonna go fucking crazy if that gets mentioned again. I swear to God.
You don't expect it the second time. See, that's
if it happens again, I'm gonna go fucking apeshit. I swear.
Yeah, it's identical to Katakuri. And look, based on the hints of how it's awakening, it's also awakening the same way Katakuri's awakened. Because remember, everything seems to be melting. Like, it seems like the default state is more fluid than solid.
That just makes me think that it's a Logia type. I don't think it's a special Paramethea. I do think it's a Logia type.
No, because it doesn't have...
The thing with special Paramethea is that, versus Logia, is that Logia are naturally occurring elements. Rubber does not occur naturally.
No, it's not even that.
Special,
it's not even that. It's that it lacks the invulnerability, right? Logias are category.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is because rubber is okay.
No, there's.
Let me say my whole theory. Let me say my whole theory about it. Rubber is the Gum Gum fruit is a Logia type fruit because it prevents him from taking blunt force trauma, like blunt force damage, because he's made of rubber, which would be considered a Logia type resistance to something.
No,
however, the resistance to the reduced resistance to slashing damage is entirely within the properties of rubber. So that makes sense for it to be a weakness, just like water is the weakest to the sand Logia type. Like, each Logia type has a weakness. Gum Gum just happens to be one of the weakest of the Logia type, to the point where it can be classified as a Paramethea.
It's not each of them. Some of them have weaknesses, but most of them don't.
Also, the fact that the Gum Gum fruit is the counter to the Rumble Rumble fruit, that really sells it to me as a Logia type.
Dylan, can you honest to God tell me that Kizaru has an opposite?
Kizaru being the magma fruit?
No,
Kizaru is the light fruit. Kizaru is
Marshall
light.
D.
Teach. Marshall D. Teach is the exact counter to that. The dark fruit.
I'm pretty sure they fought, or no. Let me just say the reason I'm saying this.
No.
Because
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The reason he's definitely not a Logia is because he's not capable of the full element conversion. And also, he is capable of something that no Logia is capable of. He passively has the properties of both rubber and gum, even when he's underwater.
I swear to God, I'm gonna have a mental break. Please stop.
No, the thing is,
the fact that Gear 2 even exists makes me think it's Logia. Because he's
Dylan.
making his entire body is rubber. It's not like a paramecia where he secretes it. Paramecia really makes me feel like it's like a secretion thing.
So paramecias come in three types. Paramecias come in three types. There's secretion types, there's body transformation types, and there's projection types. So we have Law, who is a projection type, who can project a room around himself and alter what's in the room. We have Mr. One, who is a conversion type, who converts his body into blades, and he is infinitely sharp, and he's basically steel as a result. And we have Mr. Three, who is a projection type.
Secretion.
He can project wax from himself.
No, he's the secretion type.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Luffy is like Mr. One. He is a transformation type. He becomes rubber.
Give me other examples. Kilo fruit, maybe pound fruit.
That's a transformation type, right? Like it alters your own mass.
Transformation type. Yeah. Not Magellan. Not Magellan. Magellan is a secretion type.
Yes, Magellan's a secretion type. There's a lot of secretion types actually.
Alvida is a transformation type. Yep. She has become a slip person, so anything that comes into contact with her slips
Big Mom is a projection type, technically. I think rather than projection...
Big Mom is overpowered as fuck.
I think rather than projection, I think control is a more accurate.
Yes.
Because, like, for example...
So secretion, control, and transformation.
Yeah, because Kid is also a control type.
Yes.
Right? Because he can control
Robin is a control type. She controls extra versions of her. I feel like
Robin's kind of overpowered in her own way. She's like overpowered.
If she knew hockey to a degree that was substantial, she'd be unstoppable. She knows hockey to a certain point, but like if she knew hockey to an expertise level, she'd be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Look, Demonio Fleur is. $10 says Demonio Fleur is armament hockey.
It's extremely likely that it's hockey.
So Buggy is a transformation type.
Yes.
He transforms his body into bits and pieces.
Actually, you know what? I have a theory that Buggy is also a special paramecia. And this isn't just like memeing.
No, yeah, I think the chop fruit is a special paramecia. I think that one, if you wanted to say that one of the major types shown lately has been artificially created, I think the chop fruit is one that has been artificially created.
I don't think it's necessary. No, the timeline doesn't fit. Because Vegapunk
never know.
Far ahead yet.
You don't know that.
No, because I'm pretty sure it's implied that the first successful artificial fruit was the dragon fruit. Was Momo.
Momo's fruit.
Yeah, but you don't know how long that had been sitting there. They were very unclear about how long that. I mean, they said at least. It was like 20 years. They said 20 years that it had maybe been sitting there before. Like
so the thing is, like, the only artificial devil fruits that we know of are all Zoan fruits, all of them.
That's true.
Like exactly why it could be a good twist. Exactly why it could be a good twist.
No, but like, here's the thing. So far, the reason I think there's one characteristic that only 2 fruits have shown out of all the devil fruits in existence, which is they maintain their passive properties even underwater. Buggy can maintain his separation even underwater, and Luffy is still made of rubber even underwater.
Those are both transformation paramecias.
Yes, but no other transformation type has shown that, and it's like... And the other thing that gets me thinking about Buggy is that Buggy is apparently also immune to hockey. Somehow.
Not necessarily.
There's no way Mihawk doesn't passively constantly use hockey.
So
Mihawk
the thing is...
him into dust, and he came back from that.
Well, he's got the chop fruit. It's a technicality, I think.
No, because Luffy isn't immune to blunt force trauma when hockey gets involved. The implication, and Logias lose their damage involved. So the implication is that damage and vulnerability is not a factor once hockey gets involved.
Yeah, and that makes me think that Luffy is a Logia type, and that makes it more likely that Buggy is a special Paramecia.
No, because Luffy, there's some properties that all Logias have that Luffy does not have.
Which are?
So the thing with so Logias can transform into their elements and also generate their elements. Luffy hasn't demonstrated the latter capability.
It can freely control the form.
Yeah, that's Snake Man.
No. The gears, are actually a subversion of that. When I say they can freely convert, because the gears are entirely based on external factors. Gear second
the thing with gears,
is increased blood flow. Gear third and
gear
fourth.
Gear fourth is hockey. Gear fourth is all hockey.
No, gear fourth is hockey, and also gear second, increased blood flow.
Bone balloon. Oh no, gear
third is bone balloon. Gear fourth is muscle balloon plus hockey. So third and fourth both require an injection of compressed air. And he basically, gear third and gear fourth is Luffy becomes a tire. And as anyone who's seen a video of someone trying to has seen the Tom and Jerry cartoon of Tom trying to hit a tire with a sledgehammer. I know, deep cut. Tires are hard. Like rubber plus compressed air, like vulcanized rubber plus compressed air will absolutely break through reinforced concrete and steel.
That's why Gear 4 Luffy utterly wrecks Doflamingo shit.
I'm sorry, like everything I'm hearing just makes me think that Luffy is a Logia more. Like everything I'm hearing, just like the way that he uses the Gundam fruit.
What I'm saying is that
wait, let me finish.
Air.
Let me finish. What I'm saying is that because of the way that Luffy uses the Gum Fruit powers, he uses it more like a Logia type than a Paramecia. He finds a way to modify it to be more of a Logia type than a Paramecia.
Oh yes, because it is a special Paramecia. It's the same as Katakuri. Katakuri also uses his special Paramecia like it's a Logia. Like, for example, Katakuri's invulnerability isn't actually invulnerability. What he's doing is he's literally he's dodging by using the fact that his body is boneless. He's dodging weirdly, like a Looney Tunes character.
He's using advanced observation hockey to just like matrix himself out of situations like that.
It's so funny how they were like almost the same exact powers, except Katakuri's was like the easy mode of Luffy's powers, and Luffy just used hard work to overcome those differences. So at a base level, the Mochi fruit is much better than the Gum fruit.
What's interesting is that Mochi, unlike Rubber,
does not possess the properties of Rubber and Gum. Oh my god!
So
I mean, we didn't do it. You brought this on yourself, Dylan.
Rubber bounces back and does not form impressions. Mochi does. So Mochi takes impressions and does not reform back into shape. But Rubber forms back into shape, which means that Rubber has more durability.
Rubber is also more versatile.
Exactly.
Right? Like, cause like Mochi, Mochi is more powerful on a baseline level, but Rubber has a higher top end. Right? Rubber has a higher ceiling.
Yes.
That's entirely what I was saying, is that like Mochi has a higher floor, but Gum has a higher ceiling.
It also the Gum's floor is like the Marianas Trench. Because that is a fruit that is like absolutely like honestly, if it was Joy Boy's fruit, I wouldn't be surprised because it's a protagonist fruit in that it is a fruit that at first glance is completely useless.
The gum fruit has a massive learning curve.
Right?
Like the only fruit that has a steeper learning curve.
Protagonist fruit is taking the so-called weakest power and then turning it into like penis.
The only fruit that
it's literally like they copied it in Black Clover with Asta with anti-magic. That's literally what it is.
The only fruit that we know of that has a steeper learning curve than the gum fruit is Brook's fruit, which took him 50 years to master.
To be fair, it didn't take him 50 years to master. It took him 50 years to find his corpse.
Yes.
Theoretically,
So
if you like, so my theory is that the optimal way to eat the underworld fruit is to eat it and then immediately kill yourself.
Interesting.
Because I feel like
it's
extra
the
life...
revive fruit, by the way.
It's the Yomi fruit. Yomi is the underworld. It's a translation thing.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole ass thing.
Like, do not get me started on Vizisms, or I'll bring out the chopples and the blooks and the lobbins.
Please don't. Please don't talk about the Viz stuff.
Oh, Mill appears once again.
I've been listening this entire time, but I am just very tired, so I'm just gonna.
Understandable. I feel like the three of us have a bit too much energy, so it balances out. What was
you
I
want to
saying
transition to a different topic at some point? Because, like...
Okay, yes.
I kind of want to talk about... Eam.
Okay, let me just finish my bit on the Brooks fruit. Because I think the extra life is worth a lot less than the just batshit crazy powers you get from the fruit itself.
I'm honest to God both surprised and impressed that Brook hard counters the Soul fruits. Like, it is honest to God amazing that
honestly,
Brook
I'm
just
not
hard counters one of the strongest fruits in the series.
I would not be surprised if the end state, like, let me put something horrifying in your head. What do you think an awakened underworld fruit looks like?
Jesus Christ, that's horrifying.
What if
Brook would become fucking Hades?
I think it would look something like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no, what if his... Yeah, what if his... No, because Yomi has a figure, King Yama, or King Enma, the King of Hell, the Judge of the Dead.
Nurgle and shit.
Well,
Hades.
Okay, but... Yes,
it's
no,
like
basically,
Hades.
What if he just what if his awakening is just literal hell on Earth?
Fucking hell.
And he becomes the Skeleton King.
He starts a skeleton war.
Is like not out of the question. Okay, yes, Jack. Please avail us with your drunken Eam theories. Oh, this is you hear?
I'm not hearing Jack.
Did I hear what?
I was asking if Jack is still here. We cannot hear you if you are, so you may want to reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
While you're reconnecting, I'm just gonna put up a little thing that I saw. You know how Sanji has the epithet of Blackleg Sanji, even though he's like his legs turn red during Diable Jambe?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's because he always wears black pants. But
no, I know, but like, if fire gets hot enough, it can turn black. Black fire does exist. So, could be just a little cheeky little foreshadowing by Oda in which Sanji's final form does involve black fire. Also, black fire is just objectively cooler looking.
It is.
True.
So it's like, it definitely seems like something... Oh, you know what? What if it becomes a consequence of Sanji mastering some sort of advanced armament nonsense?
Possibly.
Like, what if the interaction between the hockey and the fire just makes it black fire?
Mm.
I don't know. It would be really cool looking. I don't know that Sanji deserves it, but it would be really cool looking. Ah, Jack has returned. Possibly.
Sorry. Hi. So, Eam. How much do you want to bet that that's short for immortal? And how much do you want to bet that Eam is the first known person to receive the immortality operation?
Oh my god, that's genius. I completely forgot about that. I think it's... So, oh, actually, on the subject of the immortality operation, that kind of ties into a similar theory, is that the 5 Elder Stars have never changed.
The five Elder Stars being also subjects to the immortality surgery is also interesting. But I
Right?
think
Like
Steam
if
was
they've
the
just been there,
was the
he
first
might
for sure.
he might have been the first, yes. But like, there's also an argument to be made that the five Elder Stars are the same guys who were in power during the Void Century.
That would
It's
be interesting, but at
possible.
the same time,
I mean, there is
like we
like the
don't.
only person who really knows about the secret power of the Op fruit is Doflamingo, who is a celestial dragon. But who
Yeah,
knows
so
how
no,
well
that's
known
the
among
thing.
the celestial dragons that
Yeah,
even
it could
is.
be like, it could be that it's a fruit, because remember, as long as you have the right kind of fruit around, the Op fruit is guaranteed to kill you if you do the immortality operation. So they could just like constantly recycle the Op fruit among the world
If they
dragon
had
or
a
the.
way, if they had
Immortality
a way to capture
operation.
it,
I mean,
So
apparently
the thing
it's
with the
not that hard to capture a fruit. If Caesar was able to figure it out, I'm pretty sure it's not that hard.
So the thing with the immortality operation is that it's not technically immortality so much as it's agelessness. So think
Yeah.
like elves in Tolkien's world. So they're basically eternally youthful, frozen at the same age, but they aren't immortal per se. They can die, they just don't age.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Is the like that would. I'm
The
not talking about the
eternal
death
youth
of the.
surgery.
No, I'm not
Eternal
talking
youth
about the
surgery.
people who receive the surgery. I'm talking about the people who do it. They're guaranteed to die.
Ah, right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah, no.
if since the user of the fruit is guaranteed to die, as long as they have the correct fruit to capture it once they die, then they could have. I think the reason it was considered such a big deal is, remember, the op fruit getting out was kind of an incredibly major incident,
Yeah.
right?
The
So
only fruit that
it's
caused more of an
possible.
incident with the world government is the gum fruits. Interestingly enough.
Well, we don't know if it's more of an incident. Actually, no, I don't think you can say that, because I feel like if the gum fruit was really that relevant, they would have just murdered Luffy back when he was still in the East Blue.
How would they know that it was Luffy who had
It's
it until he started his
kind
pirate
of
career?
it's kind of
honestly,
obvious.
okay, Fuzzy, I agree with Jack on this because I do think that it was unintentionally convenient that the Gum fruit went to Luffy instead of to Shanks.
I don't think Shanks was gonna
Oh,
eat it.
Because I
So,
think
yeah,
Shanks,
so
I think
I have-
Shanks was gonna eat it. I do think Shanks was gonna eat it.
I'm of two
I
minds.
don't
on
know.
this.
Shanks,
Well,
because they.
hold on. So I'm of two minds on this. On the one hand, I think that Shanks recognized that the gum fruit is important and stole it from the world government because of that. But at the same time, I don't think Shanks intended to eat it because he, like Roger, did not want to be burdened with the devil fruit because he valued his ability to swim more.
Fair
Yeah, no.
point.
Remember
And he
that.
didn't think that the devil fruit powers were a good trade off.
Remember that the most for the most part, emperors tend to have a theme in their entire crew, and Shanks's crew's theme is that none of them are devil fruit users.
Yeah, we don't know a
Big Mom
single
is
member of
Paramecia's.
Shanks' crew.
Yeah, Big Mom is Paramecia's, Kaido is Zoan's, and Shanks is no fruit at all.
Yeah.
It's implied that that's the theming.
Interesting.
Blackbeard,
and there's none that's like
Logia.
Blackbeard's is actually interesting. I think Blackbeard's theming is going to be stolen fruit.
Hmm.
I think Blackbeard's theme is going to be he's going to like actively steal fruit from others.
Honestly,
he does
I don't
do that.
mind
He stole fruit and
Absalom
give it to other
because
people.
Absalom sucks.
No, Absalom just committed sexual assault on screen. I'm fine with him being horrifically murdered for his fruit.
Shiryu of the Wind is a very intimidating character. Shiryu of the Rain, sorry, is going to be a very intimidating character, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do with him.
No, you know what's funny? I'm actually curious as to why he picked that one. Because he seems like a brawler. Right? I feel like he's not really the sneaky type. It's like, right?
So speaking
here's the thing: is I think it strangely fits. But Jack, just go to your point first.
Speaking of Blackbeard's crew, what do you think is going to be the final conflict of the series? Do you think it's going to be Luffy's the Straw Hats versus Blackbeard pirates, or do you think it's going to be Straw Hats versus the world government?
Blackbeard pirates. I do think that they're gonna find a way to shoehorn into the story.
War, so remember that the
final
final
war.
war is going to be like, most likely it's not going to be a two-way conflict. It's most likely going to be a three or even four-way conflict. Because I know that.
So you think it's going to be a melee à trois?
Possibly. There's going to be alliances.
Battle Royale, more like.
Yes, it's going to be. No, I think there will be like sides, but I don't think it's going to be as simple as Whitebeard versus Marines. Because think of the sides. There's the Marines, and then I would say there's the Marines, and then there's the world government. Because I don't think we're getting to a point where I don't think you can consider them exactly the same side anymore.
Oh, I think Smoker is going to end up going rebel at some point. I think that that's a possibility.
I think. Hold on. So I think what's going to happen is that the world government and Marines are going to fraction into two, and one side is going to be the regular Marines and world government, and the other side is going to be Sword.
Yes.
So like
Mill, what were you going to say?
Drake and Smoker and such.
I mean, that was basically my point. Is that we already know that the Marines are basically split, in that there are members of the Marines that are very loyal to, or are more loyal to the world government than not, and then there are
the Marines are split into dogs of the world government and people who actually care about protecting people.
Yeah, I would.
Let's be honest. Kobe is gonna be on the latter half, and
Kobe is already part of Sword.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Kobe in action, like for real, because I do think like not only he's already like a 6 powers master by the last time we see him. I do think he's going to be like a hockey master as well. I think he's going to follow in Garp's footsteps.
Pretty sure Luffy's still going to one-shot him.
Oh, no, 100%. I do think that that's possible, but I think that Kobe also is going to be like Krillin.
So who do you think? Wait.
And then who's going to...
Who do you think founded Sword? Do you think it was Garp or Kuzan?
No, Sengoku.
Sengoku.
You think Sengoku founded Sword?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I agree with that. No, 100%.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
No, it's like it also explains a lot about Garp and Sengoku's relationship and why they tolerate each other.
So yeah, I 100% think that the Garp, Sengoku, Suru trio founded Sword, or at least one of them did.
No, I think the trio is right. I'm pretty sure if Suru is 100% involved in Sword.
That would make so much sense.
How about Aokiji?
Oh, he's
Aokiji is 100%. He's like, Aokiji is like Drake, right? Like they're both.
Yeah,
they're like outlaws. They're outlaws on the side of justice.
Blackbeard's crew.
Yeah, he's deep.
He is
cover.
deep
Because remember, there's 2 instances of president. There's Drake, and then there's also Corazon.
Yeah. Oh god, fucking Corazon will break me every time.
Yes, no, I know. His death broke me. That was like
But yeah, it's not just members of Sword either, because 100% Fujitora is not joining the world government side of that war.
Oh no,
Fujitora is my favorite admiral currently.
I'm pretty sure he gouged out his eyes because of the world government.
So if Fujitora isn't already a member of Sword, he's going to join Sword at the end, for the end game.
He's so lawful neutral. It's great. I love it.
He's lawful. He's like lawful good.
Fujitora exemplifies my my ideal of malicious compliance. Like he is 100% malicious compliance with the world government and its objectives.
There's no way he was.
And that's why I say lawful neutral, because lawful good, which would mean he follows the letter of the law to the best extent that he can.
Oh, then he's neutral good.
He's either neutral good or lawful neutral. I don't think he's. Yeah. He's either neutral good or lawful good. I don't think he's lawful neutral because he's too much of a good person to be lawful neutral.
He's too good to be neutral.
Okay, so while we're on the subject of admirals, did you all discuss what's his name, Ryugoku while
Green Bull.
Green Bull. So
call them by their English names.
Green Bull, I want to bet, has a plant-based fruit. I'm just not sure if it's a Logia, a Paramecia, or a Zoan, because it's really fucking hard.
Zoan plant fruit would be the twist that I would expect from Oda. In terms of like how
Yeah,
I've seen
I
him
would
like do
say
the
that's-
unexpected, I would think it'd be like a plant zone. That would
Yeah.
be weird, but good.
A plant mythical zone would make
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah, like a
Ooh,
Venus
mythical
flytrap.
zone,
Remember mythical zone kind of throw all the rules out the window.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Marco's
Yeah.
mythical zone has like characteristics of a Logia. Kaido's mythical zone is literally Magikarp. Kaido is Magikarp, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. And in due course, so is Momo.
Nah, Momo cheated.
So
But
Momo,
it's the same.
Momo's
It's
fruit
literally the
is-
same fruit,
Momo's-
though. It's
No.
the same fruit.
It is.
Actually,
It is.
Vegapunk said it was a failure, but it's basically the same fruit.
No. What if the reason it's a failure is because it's not fish model dragon or model Seiryu? What if it's just a dragon fruit where Vegapunk meant to
Dang.
make the fish model Seiryu?
Interesting theory.
That would also kind of mean that there's still no contradiction. Technically.
Hashtag
Whoa.
failed successfully.
Right? Because that would mean that technically,
That's an
like,
interesting thought.
Yeah,
I would laugh my ass off if Vegapunk made an artificial devil fruit and he successfully failed in creating the fish fruit and made a dragon fruit instead. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, it would be hilarious if
seem
it's
like
like
a
it was
sort of-
considered a failure by Vegapunk, but considered a success by literally everybody else. And he just like he didn't think of it as a success because he didn't get what he wanted.
that is
to get.
absolutely mad scientist logic right there.
Exactly, that's what I'm
Yes.
thinking. Is
Yeah.
that makes sense with mad scientist logic.
So, on the subject of, what were we talking about before we got sidetracked?
Vegapunk. We were talking about Vegapunk.
No. I was talking about factions in the final war.
Right. So I think there's going to be
Revolutionaries
three
are
factions.
absolutely a faction.
I do think that the
I-
revolutionaries and the splinter faction, we'll call them, from the world government, I do think that they'll align on a lot of their desires.
There's another faction that I've been thinking about.
Oh?
A splinter group of kings and possibly even world nobles that we saw in the Revolution.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
they
like,
might be on the side of the rebels.
Like King Elizabello is already in the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, right? So
No, he's not.
Elizabello, the Nefertari.
No,
Elizabeth-
he swore his loyalty. He swore his
is
fealty.
not. Oh, no. So Elizabello is not aligned with the Grand Fleet. But I would not be surprised if he swore under Luffy to put the Proteus Kingdom under his protection. Because we already have both Fishman Island and...
Didn't he drink from? Didn't
No.
he do the
No.
ceremony?
No, he did not.
No, that
the
was
seven
Bartolomeo and
Oh,
Cavendish
5,000 other people,
and
That was
So
it
the
was a
seven
lot of
captains-
people.
The 7 captains who swore under Luffy are Cavendish, Bartolomeo, Orlumbus, Hodgridon, Leo, Sai, and Ideo.
oh yeah,
Ideo
the
is
two guys.
long armed dude.
Yeah,
okay,
long arm
so-
dude,
no,
and then
okay,
Sai was
but then
the
in
guy
that case-
from the
In that
Fishman.
case, there's no contradiction. So Elizabello, the Nefertaris, whether or not Cobra is dead, Neptune, definitely, unless he also
Neptune,
died
yep.
in the Reverie. Look, like
No, we know that Toon survived the reverie.
Yeah, because they talk
Oh,
about
we
it
right.
saw
after.
him at We saw him at Fishman Island talking to Garp along with Shiroshi.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So yeah, Neptune is Elizabello. What do you want to bet Wapple's gonna end up on that list as well?
That would be hilarious.
Honestly, I do think that Wapple is on the list of people that would be on the side of Luffy, in the sense of
because
the
of
same
his
way that
opportunism.
Buggy was. Yeah,
Yes,
in the same
it's
way that
very
Buggy
much
was.
opportunistically, yeah.
Yeah.
Wapple's probably gonna end. I just hope to God King Taco makes it to the side of good.
Which one's
And
King Taco
Hamburger,
again?
don't forget. So
King
King Taco is
Taco-
the Mexican stereotype. And
Yes.
King Hamburger is the American stereotype.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Lincoln lookalike.
Yeah, I remember that
Oda,
guy.
Oda did not try very hard for some of the kings.
Look, Oda made a Big Ben look like a stereotypical British dude. He made a stereotypical Mexican dude, and he made a stereotypical American dude. And the American
That
dude looked exactly like fucking Abraham Lincoln.
that does add actually some legitimacy to my claim that the world of One Piece is a post-apocalyptic current world.
Okay, no, that's just okay. Let's not go too crazy here.
That's some crack theory stuff right there.
I do think that the century gap has something to do with how our world turned into the One Piece world.
So, I have a different question. I want to change topics. We talked about the final war and Eamon and such. Who do you think, if anyone, is going to join the Straw Hat crew before the series ends? Because after Wano, hold on. After Wano, we have maybe a handful of arcs left. We have Elbaf, maybe Lodestar Island, and then we have Laugh Tale and the final war. And that's it. We have
I believe
one
there's
final
3
saga
arcs, yeah.
after. We have one final saga left after the current saga. So, if anyone joins the Straw Hat crew, who do you think it will be?
Okay, before we do that, let's go through. Hold on, before we do that, let's go through who's currently in the Straw Hat crew, from original members to most recent. We got Luffy, we got Zoro, we got Nami, we got Sanji, we got Chopper, Usopp Chopper.
You skipped Usopp, dude.
Who gives a fuck? Okay, anyway, Usopp Chopper. Then after that, we got who's it?
Robin,
Frankie after
and
that.
Brooke.
Robin, Frankie,
we
then
got
Brooke.
Robin after Chopper.
Yeah, Robin, Frankie, then Brooke, and then Jinbei most recently. So that's 9.
So 10 total members of the Straw Hats crew, 9 not counting Luffy.
No, I counted Luffy in that. So it's Luffy, Zoro.
Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Sanji, Usopp, Chopper, Robin, Frankie, Brooke, Jinbei. Yeah, that's 10.
10. So 10 members of Straw Hat. I honestly don't think they would add on that. I think that that's going to be the final crew.
I do think there's going to be at least one more member of the crew. Maybe 2. The only ones I can really see joining at this point, though, are Carrot and Yamato. Because Carrot spent, basically all of Whole Cake Island ingratiating herself with the crew. And Yamato has been spending a good chunk of Onigashima not integrating, but...
I think Zoro's going to add Yamato to the harem.
No.
Yamato
has not met and not expressed attractions, so...
they haven't met... Since when has that stopped the shippers?
You're not wrong.
Hey, okay, how about this? I do think that the Straw Hat Pirates, if they go above 10, they won't go past 13. I think that they'll be at 13.
Also, remember
and
that
wait. It's gonna be Yamato, Carrot, and Momo.
I hope to God it's not Momo.
I think Momo will be a member of the crew because he aged forward, so physically he'll be more able, and so he wants to take he's gonna take that last journey in honor of Odin.
So one thing I have seen is a theory that basically final lineup of the Straw Hats will parallel the 12 Disciples because of the recent religious Christian religious
I was gonna
imagery.
say the thing about the Straw Hats is a lot of them are actually legacy characters.
What does that mean?
So basically, they exemplify inherited will.
Yeah, so
which is one of the big themes of the
just
series.
Luffy is just Roger and Shanks. He has their hat and everything. So Zoro is more and more being implied to be not just Kuina. Zoro is more and more being implied to kind of carry the entire Shimotsuki clan on his back, starting from the way back to Ryuma.
Yes. So
there is no way he's not. So okay, can I just say one thing? This is one of the examples of Oda very carefully answering a question without answering it. When asked, he very carefully and explicitly said that Kozaburo, the last Shimotsuki daimyo, is specifically not Zoro's father.
What if he's his grandfather, though?
Yes, he didn't deny that they're related. He was asked, are they related, and is he Zoro's dad? And his answer was something along the lines of, he's not Zoro's father.
He's not Zoro's dad, but...
But he didn't deny that there's a relationship there. So he's very strongly implied to have, like, basically be the second coming of Ryuma.
Yeah, the fact that he has the sword
the
too, and that he had the respect of Ryuma, whether or not that was actually Ryuma or just Brook's shadow talking.
Actually, I would say Nami is not a legacy character.
No,
Well,
she has
Nami
the will of her
inherited the will
adopted
of-
She
mother.
inherited her mother's will, but by legacy character, I mean, like, in terms of characters who kind of made a name for themselves in the world.
Well, Usopp inherited Yasuo, obviously. Yeah.
Which I should hope so, considering that's the only thing his deadbeat dad ever left him.
Sanji inherited from Zeph and straight up fucking disowned his bio family.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And remember that Zeph was quite well known back in the day as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chopper inherited from both Kirlik and Kureha.
And just, like, he's inherited a lot of, like, medicine in general. Like, remember, the doctors have kind of always been a pretty major part of every successful crew.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Every doctor that they
Robin-
meet, Chopper. Robin, of course.
Robin inherited from all of O'Hara.
Yeah, all of
She
O'Hara.
inherited O'Hara as well.
Frankie, of
Frankie
course,
inherited
was Mr. Tom.
Yes,
Yeah.
who, again, some of them are more related than others. Like, for example, with Luffy, Usopp, and Frankie,
Robin.
and less so Robin, are directly related to Gold Roger's crew.
Oh, yeah.
Or, well, I'd say Usopp is probably,
Wait,
like, a degree
Remind
of
me how
separation.
Usopp is... Yeah, remind me how Usopp is
under
related.
Shanks, who inherited Roger's
Yasop
will.
is a member of Shanks' crew.
Who's Yasop
And
again?
Shanks is from Rob. Yasop is the sharpshooter of Shanks' crew.
He's also Usopp's dad.
Ah, I didn't even know
His
that.
deadbeat dad, by the way. Considering the fact that he, like, allowed his wife to just die without even seeing her once.
To be fair,
Though apparently,
how would he have known?
yeah, that's the
He's
thing, isn't it? He
impossible on
didn't
the
care
grand
enough to
line.
even keep tabs. Because there are ways of passing messages.
So we're past 2 hours to
True.
start winding it down now.
Probably, yes.
Well, we will try, but I make no guarantees.
I'm gonna have to go
touched on a couple
soon,
things.
regardless. So,
We will try go into the last few things.
but yeah, no. Let's finish with it, because yeah. So Frankie he made the ship, and Mr. Tom made Roger's ship. Brook is a bit more
Brook
complicated.
inherited the will of the Rumbar pirates to see Laboon again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Laboon.
So we have both Carrot and Yamato have inherited wills from other people. Carrot inherited Pager's will to see the new dawn.
I think that's the
And-
reason Carrot and Yamato are a bit more likely, because Carrot is very much strikes me as because remember, they're missing a mink pirate, and there were minks on Roger's crew, right?
Yes.
Nuarashi and
Well,
Nekumu.
Yamato inherited Odin's will.
Yeah, and I think that might be the argument for why Momo won't be on the cruise, because
Yes, I
Yamato
would
is
say
inheriting.
Yamato over Momo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think Momo is more like a Vivi character, where he's
Yes,
going to be
Momo
like
is
a
the princess.
temporary part of the group.
Yes, Momo
And-
is the temporary princess.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
been one in every arc. There's been one in every major saga. There was Vivi, there was like Rebecca, there was like any number of like there's a few. There was that mermaid
Hiroshi.
girl in Water 7.
Hiroshi. No,
Oh,
not
yeah, that
Warzone.
one girl.
Oh, Kokoro.
Yeah. No, I mean the granddaughter.
Oh,
Kyle.
Chimney.
Yes,
Chimney.
that's her name. There was even what's her name? Kami. Kami was also technically you could. say
Yeah, but
that.
it was Kami and Shirahoshi for the Fishman Island arc.
No, I
No,
was saying
Kami was
Kami
Sabouti.
for
Kami was
the arc.
Sabouti.
Oh yeah, Kami was Sabouti, yeah.
So yeah, Momo is the princess of the current generation of the current arc.
Okay, a couple other theories I want to tackle before we wrap up. So there are two major ones I want to talk about. First of all, no, three major ones. First of all, we gotta talk about rocks. Second, we gotta talk about the real Will of D. And third, we gotta talk about upcoming bounties.
Okay, upcoming bounties are like I don't feel the need to guess at them because like basically Oda can just make up whatever he wants off the top of his head.
Alternatively, we can talk about Wano and why it's relevant to the major story.
Okay,
I do, I
Please
do,
don't.
however, think
That
that
feels like that's
Luffy,
gonna take a
Luffy will
while.
end up with a bounty higher than Gold Roger. I do think that that's going to happen.
He's
Luffy
got-
will end up with.
The theory I've seen with Luffy's final bounty is that it will be 5,656,000,000 because that would be Gomu.
That would be
Gomu Gomu.
that is absolutely something he would do. Oda would do.
Yeah, no. 100%.
Oda's really into number puns.
Yeah, no. All of the Yonko have them. Fucking all of the Yonko.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Huh. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, no. Big Mom has haha as in mama. And Kaido has Hyakuju, 100 Beasts.
100 Beasts.
And
Oh
Shanks
my.
has Chiyaku, Shanks.
That's really.
And
really
Roger
funny.
has Rogia, and Whitebeard has Shiro.
That's really, really funny. I like that. So yeah, 6,565 seems like the play.
Yeah, no.
5,656 rather.
Yeah, 5,656. That's Luffy's
like
final
the play.
bounty, 100%.
Yeah. So can I just say, was anyone getting something of an Ara and H-N dynamic between Kaido and Big Mom in the flashback?
I don't know about
A little
that. But I
bit.
do
A
think
little
that-
bit. Definitely was. Yeah, no.
I don't know. I
it's not
don't
just
know
me.
about that.
No,
So
but
what
like
I do
they
think is that
absolutely banged at one point. There is no way
I
they
don't
didn't.
know. I don't know about that, but I do think
I don't
that
know,
they
yeah,
did
I
have
don't
a
know.
close relationship.
I am
Fine.
convinced the second to fourth children are Kaido's.
I don't know about that. Kaido was
No,
too
'cause
young at
they
the
have,
time.
like-
Kaido's
they
like
have a
full-on
resemblance.
decade younger than Big Mom. Kaido's
You
like a
think
full-on
Big Mom
decade
cares
younger
about
than
that?
Big Mom. No.
You think Big-
The thing is, like, Big Mom had those kids when she was 20, and Kaido would have been like 10 or 11 at the time.
Yeah, I
Kaido's
remember
like a
Kaido
decade
was
younger
a
than
young
Big Mom.
member of the Rocks Pirates, and yeah, at that point, Big Mom had
So-
already established
okay, so-
herself.
All I'm
canonically-
saying is,
No. Fuzzy. Canonically, Big Mom is 68 and Kaido is 59.
oh,
She is
okay.
9 years older than him.
Okay,
It would not have
maybe
been
not
possible.
the second through fourth then. Well, it depends on when
It
she
would
had...
not-
Actually, no. Hang on, let me actually consult the wiki.
Yeah, no. Kaido is 9 years younger than Big Mom. So it would not be possible for him to have fathered any of her older children, eldest children.
So Katakuri is 48. So
Yeah, Kaido would have been 11. That's
would have
not
been
possible.
12, but yes. Well, I think we just gave the Shota Dojin authors some fuel, but other than that, I don't.
God
yeah, I think I
fucking
agree.
Damn it, Fuzzy.
Look, they would have
God
done it either
fucking
way.
damn
We
it.
just gave them some more fuel.
Can we get back on the topics or end?
Please, let's get back on topic.
Okay,
Rocks.
so
Let's talk about Rocks. Since we're on the topic of Big Mom and Kaido. What do you think Rocks' deal was? Why do you think he was doing whatever the fuck he was doing?
I have a.
The
think
obvious
he knew
answer
about
would be that he
Joy Boy?
was a D. The obvious answer would be that he's a D, but I don't think that that's the actual answer.
I have a crockpot theory on the subject of drunk One Piece theories. I think
Oh.
Brook and Rox knew each other.
Interesting.
Because the timeline would fit.
Oh, whoa, yeah, that would be cool. That would be like, I mean, we have a bit of Brook's backstory with Laboon and everything, but I
The
do
Rumbar
think
Pirates,
that, like,
so
yeah, like, I do
apparently,
think a
no.
bigger part of the backstory could be something to do with rocks.
Yeah, because Roger was apparently an up-and-coming rookie while Brook was still a pirate.
Yeah,
That was the time when
that
Garp
was
was a
mentioned.
rookie as well.
Yeah.
So, it seems viable that the Rumbar Pirates could have had some sort of encounter with the Rocks Pirates at some point. Like, they might have even been a subordinate crew. I don't think they would have been a subordinate crew. It would not surprise me if Brook knew Rocks in some capacity, even if by word of mouth.
Maybe they were a subordinate crew, but, you know, of course, after they had Laboon and everything, and, like, it would be later on in the Grand Line, because there is a lot of...
Yes, there's a
lot
gap.
of a pattern of...
Yeah, because, like, there's a big gap between the, what's it called, triangle, the Bermuda Triangle. I know it's not that, but I'm just going to call it that. There's a lot of distance and time between...
Oh, the Florida Triangle?
Yes, the Bermuda Triangle, that's what I said.
Can we just talk about those fucking giant monsters that
I think that's just never going to be
triangle?
answered. I think that's just never going to be answered.
I'm just not going to elaborate on that at all. I'm just going to drive everyone insane.
It's that meme format, right? Like, giant monsters show up as silhouettes in Florian Triangle, are the reason for many shipwrecks, refuses to elaborate, leaves.
Are you talking about pre-Skypea?
No,
this
Thriller
is
Bark.
Thriller Bark. This is Thriller Bark.
So...
I think it could be something similar to Skypea, whereas maybe a sky island, and it was their reflection on when the sun strikes them.
They were humanoid figures.
Not humanoid, but we see the figures in the
giant
mist.
monsters. Like Zunisha scale.
Yeah. Yeah, they tower fucking islands.
If they're shown, they're gonna pop up again. That's the thing.
Are you sure about that?
Eventually.
Are you sure about that?
They're eventually gonna get explained.
I mean, Foxy was never
Not
explained.
necessarily.
What do you mean Foxy was never explained? He was totally explained. He
Foxy's
had
a
the
mystery,
slow fruit.
You don't know. No, I'm not talking about his fruit. I'm talking about the person. Where did he come from? Where did he go? We don't know.
Where did he come from, Cotton Joe?
I beat you to it. I beat you fucking
No,
to
you
it.
did. No, you did. Shut
Yes,
up.
I did. Yes,
You
I did.
said it at the same exact time.
Okay.
No,
no. There's only one thing that we can definitively, outside of what was shown on screen, there's only one thing we can definitively say about Foxy.
Oh?
He does not possess the properties of both rubber and gum.
Oh, fucking damn it.
This is off topic. Please get back on
I'm
topic.
gonna go crazy!
Okay,
what's
I'm
more
gonna
for
have
me?
to go now, in general. I'm terribly sorry, Mill. It might be time to wrap things up. I feel like one stream is not enough for this.
Probably not.
Can we do another Drunk One Piece theories once more
Yes.
chapters come
Answer
out?
is
Because
yes.
I feel like it's gonna
Yes.
get real wild soon.
Let's give it like a year before we do this, though.
Let's make this like
let's
an
give it a
annual
year.
St. Patty's Day thing, maybe.
That sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. I think Mill is dying, Jack is about to hit the wall, and I have to go. So...
I'm bouncing off the walls.
Soon.
I'm a hyper drunk right now.
Yeah, no, that's why I didn't mention you at all, is because, like, you're the only one who seems, like, conscious at the moment.
I'm conscious.
For now, Jack.
You're not wrong.
So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you, Jack and Dylan, for the sacrifice of your livers.
Yeah.
What liver?
Yeah, we're Irish. Our livers are already doomed.
I mean, I'm just looking forward to the D&D session tomorrow with both of them.
Oh God, hungover, huh?
Here's the thing: the best cure for being hungover is to get drunk again. So that's what I'm gonna do for the D&D session tomorrow.
Again,
I've
that's
actually-
not like that would be funny.
I've actually never experienced a hangover.
Lucky you.
Shut up, Jack. Yeah, you have. I've seen you hungover before.
I've never been hungover to my knowledge.
Ha. Keep telling yourself that, bud.
Okay, well, yes. Thank you for joining us, everybody. And there will be D&D tomorrow, and then we'll start again on Tuesday with either Elden Ring or we don't know what we do on Tuesday.
We fucking
Miller
decided.
and Fuzzy's chill day.
We decided 5 minutes before we stream, if that.
Yeah, it's
Tuesdays are chaos.
Yeah, Tuesday is just the day when me and Mill just kind of shoot the shit and chill.
Thursday, Special Paradox edition, where we will be discussing WandaVision.
That train wreck.
Which means Saturday is free to do whatever we want, so we'll have to figure something else out for that.
More drunk One Piece there is.
Nah, we're gonna make that an annual thing. That'll be fun.
But
yes.
There's so many. There's no way we can do it once a year.
Exactly.
Next time we'll see if we can get some special guest stars on. I won't say who in case it goes horribly wrong, but
we'll see.
Yes,
we'll see how the next year
We
goes.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Later.